works of creation. Be the generation, tell me why. Great tribulation, Exodus, alright. Movement of the people, oh yeah, alright. Exodus, movement of the people, oh yeah, well, open your eyes, look within. Are you satisfied with the life you're living? We know where we're going, we know where we're from. To the land I belong, we're going to a foreign land. Action to break down pressure, rule equality, wipe away transgression, set the captives free. Exodus, alright, yeah. Movement of your people. Oh yeah, Exodus. the people. Movement of the people. Movement of Yah's people. Movement of Yah's people. What about the Red Sea? Hey, all of the people. Movement of Yah's people. The movement of Yah's people is the movement of Yah's people. Hey. Okay, YouTube. You want to play rough, YouTube? Okay. We can play rough. Say hello to my little friend. Section 17 USC 107, Section 107, limitations on exclusive rights, fair use. This is from the FBI, YouTube. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion, pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. YouTube. So get off my balls, hack, YouTube. I'm going to say it one more time. According to 17 USC 107, Section 107, the Limitations on Exclusive Rights Fair Use Act states that federal law allows citizens such as myself to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting. Okay, by the way, YouTube, this is an educational channel. If you check my channel, this channel is titled under education. Okay, so this is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe copyright under 17 USC 107. With that being said, hello guys. Yes. Oh, yes. Hello. Oh, no. Please turn the light down. Please, guys. I know. Please. Can you just turn that light down? Thank you very much, sir. Hello, everybody. I am back again today. Yes. I know. It's beautiful to see you guys too, guys. Beautiful to see you guys too. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm smiling because we have a whole nother beautiful live stream for you today. As you see, I have the beautiful lights behind me. It's showtime. We're at the red carpet. Bring it out. As you know, I got the rosé wine. We're doing the Ormanis. I just can't get enough of this stuff. This is the French traditional method bottled in South Africa. I fuck with this one particular. This is the one that has me loose as a goose. And so with that being said, I do need to reinstate that everything that I'm going to show in this live stream is for fair use. You already know we're going to get it in. I wait a whole week most times to make these live streams. So, or at least 3-4 days before I make a live stream, and that's 3-4 days of real research that I've been researching all my database for the most recent shit. Now, my channel got taken down recently. If you're here for the first time, first of all, let me give a blessing to everybody in the chat. Blessings to everybody in the chat. Let me read the chat real quick. Press 7 if you can hear me, because my microphone, my Wi-Fi, everything goes janky with me. Just earlier, I had a computer issue. I had to go do a whole nother thing. I had to go run, and I'm here. I'm here right on time. We're going to get it straight in. We're not even going to waste time with the introductions today. Today, the video is called Exodus, Movement of Yah's People. Movement of Yah's People. Now, who is Yah? Well, Yah is another name for the Most High God, okay? You might have heard of Yahweh. You might have heard of Jehovah. But we're not going to get into the etymology of certain words. But when I say Yah, or you might even heard Jah, because in that song that we just heard with Bob Marley, he used to call God Jah. So, whom Jah bless, no man could curse. So he would always talk about Jah. If you listen to Bob Marley, you know what I'm talking about, Jah. Well, Jah is really Yah, because there's no J there was no J in the earlier dialect of Hebrew. So all J's were Y's. So that's why Joshua, Yeshua, Jah, Yah.
You know, so YAH is YAH, so movement of YAH's people. Let me read this. Can y'all hear me though? Okay, who we got in the chat? Jennifer, what's up? I'm glad everybody found me. Man, I would just before I even get started, I just want to thank everybody who's here tonight. Thank everybody who's a new subscriber. Thank everybody who's a returning subscriber. Thank all of my Patreon family. I can't stress enough the people on Patreon. Just the it's not about the financial, but it's the fact it's the real, it's the connection. Like, damn, y'all making it. So I appreciate everybody again. Apologies if I don't make enough content for you guys. I try my best to make as much content as possible. They deleted my motherfucking channel with over 400 videos, but we're not going to harp on that. This is a brand new thing. You see the lights, we got everything. We didn't have this on the last channel, so we're moving up. YouTube thought they were taking me down. We're moving up. So with that being said, God is in charge. Holla at your boy. Jennifer, thank you for finding me. KJ, always a pleasure to see you. Life of Leanne, always a pleasure. Love, love, love. Jermaine, holla at your boy. Jermaine, what up? Jermaine, glad you came through. Glad you came through, my brother. I got a good show. Just stick around for about 5-10 minutes. All I need is 5-10 minutes of your time. Just 5-10 minutes. That's all. Just 5-10 minutes. And you're going to want to stick around. Solo Dolo. Solo motherfucking Dolo. That's your name, Solo Dolo. Solo motherfucking Dolo. Because just like Michael Jackson, he'll be there. God is in charge. Bryce Hall, have I made you? Okay, Bryce Hall, what up? Okay, so anyway, we're in this thing. No more introductions. Let me get this off the screen. Now, the video is called Movement of Yah's People. And of course, I do have the thing with me. I got to pop the champagne, yes, because this shit is going to get rocky. Does everybody have on their seatbelt today? You know how we do it. I don't have time to explain it. I'm the conductor of this ride. Please put your seatbelt on. Please put your hands on the wheels on 10 and 2. I do not have time to fuck around. I do not have time to inspect the ride. Please press 7 if you have your seatbelt on. You're ready for this shit to get popping. I had to get something to drink, as I always do with you guys, because it's going to be about a 3.5-4 hour live stream. And I got to get a little loose for this thing because, you know, I start tensing up when I talk about these stories. And again, press 7 in the chat, but this is called Exodus. Why did I label this Exodus? Well, if you see my last live streams that they took down, it was following a pattern. The most recent live streams, maybe the past 8, 9, 10 live streams I made were all following a recent pattern of getting us to see exactly what this system is. And I have to be kind of cautious today, but this Babylonian system, we know what we're talking about. I've been trying to get us to see exactly what it is and how some of our family is and our friends are still in it. Remember when it says be in it, but don't be of it? In the world, but don't be of the world. So I've been trying to show a lot of people how our family is in this world. And I'm trying to show us to redefine what family is. Because if you're stuck trying to save someone who is committed to this Babylonian society just because they're your family, you're going to perish with them. And I'm here to warn you. And I'm still trying to work out my salvation. A lot of people think, oh, J-Lethal. No, I'm still trying to work out my salvation, but I do know one thing. I know that I want us all to be there in the kingdom. And yes, this is a spiritual channel. When I say the kingdom, I say the kingdom of God. I am not one of those guys who's into crystals and astrology. I'm not one of the guys who's into the ancestors, although I do have appreciation for our ancestors. Let me say this real quick because you know I got to go on quick little rants. Ancestors, don't miss. Can you hear me, guys? Am I choppy? Let me know if I'm choppy because I'm about to go on a quick little rant. Am I choppy? Am I good? Because I'm about to go on a little rant on this ancestor thing real quick. And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because, again, I'm a proud black man. And when I said black, of course, I mean those human beings that are absorbed with light. But when we're talking about the ancestors, who are you talking about? Do you realize Steve Harvey? Do you realize Steve Harvey is going to be somebody's ancestor? You realize Tyler Perry is going to be somebody's ancestor? You realize these people who were Dwayne Wade is somebody's ancestor? So eventually we have to distinguish what ancestors we're even worshiping. If you are an ancestor worshiper, you just say the ancestors and just let it float out there. No, in the year 2021, we have to make it very clear because remember, the scripture says God or Yah, the Most High God, is not the author of confusion. Can I get a 7 in the chat? So like I say, God, if God is not the author of confusion, if you can't figure some shit out, you better understand that you better figure it out, because God is not the author of confusion. If you're moving on the side of God and God is in the mix there's not going to be as much confusion as we have in this society today, where I have to do a motherfucking live stream once a motherfucking week just to keep you guys updated, because the news isn't telling you the real shit. And we figured that out a long time ago, that the news wasn't even telling you the real shit. I went out there a long time ago and exposed the news myself. Every time I pull up on the scene, the news want to pull off. How the fuck that is? You tell me how the news gets every single ignorant black person. Every time there's an event, they find the most ignorant, no tooth having, gold tooth having, ragamuffin, raggedy head looking ass black person talk about, yeah, I seen it. They got a black person every time something happened. But when a real nigga come around, the news want to get in their car and speed off at the speed of light. I've seen it with my eyes. I recorded it with my own fucking technology. I seen the actual news, Channel 7, Channel 13, Telemundo. Nigga, I made Telemundo run away. They said, ay, Dios mío, oh my God. I swear, I'm not even lying, hand to the sky. I was at this thing called the All Live, the NAACP building in Houston, Texas, out here in 3rd Ward or 5th Ward. I went out there, and then the Telemundo guy was out there because he thought he was about to get a news story for this All Lives Matter thing. I started going off on him, on everybody. Telemundo sped off at the speed of light. I ain't never seen a fucking minivan move that fast. So with that being said, this is what are we doing? This is what we're popping. Hold on. Because we got to get it in. We got to get it in. All right, guys. With that being said, are we ready for the show? Now, of course, I don't have any particular order, but remember, this show is called Exodus. It's about what is this show is about? It's about understanding who our family is and understanding why we have to let certain family perish. I got to say it like that, guys. In the year 2021, I got to say what it is. You're not condemning anyone. You're not hating on anyone. You're not turning your back on anyone. You're not nothing. You are allowing them to make the decision that they are making as a grown adult and as a person that God created. These family members that we're trying to save, and before we even get to the family members, we're talking about celebrities, guys. Guys, aren't we talking about celebrities? Didn't I show you guys fucking you know what? Fuck it. Jennifer says they're ready. Jennifer says y'all ready. Okay. Since we're talking about trust and family, let's look at this, guys. We're good. We're getting straight into it. Let me pull this up. Look at this shit, guys.
Hey, y'all, look at this.
This is our block, our place, our people. Our block is just like yours, full of the people who shaped you. They all deserve care and access to the vaccine, no matter their dress, income, or skin color. Not having a ride to get the vaccine can't be the reason you don't get it. You want to help? Donate a ride today.
Yeah, you see it. I just want to show you that all of our top celebrities and black leaders and all the black influential motherfucking figures in the black community are selling their motherfucking soul right before our very eyes. And you might say that I'm exaggerating, but you just don't see what's happening yet. Regardless of this so-called injection is real or fake or if it's effective or not, you just need to understand that these people, Spike Lee doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. They don't know the fucking effects of this thing long term. Why are they so gung-ho about selling it to us, and particularly selling it to black Americans? You better wake the fuck up. These guys are sold out. All right, let me calm down. Please vibrate higher.
All right, so the reason why I was so turned up on that video, because, yeah, I was joking a little bit because obviously I wasn't that surprised. But let's just talk about this real quick, guys. And we got a full show. We're going to give some time. It's only 20 minutes in. We're going to, YouTube hates me, so you got to go press the thumbs up button, and we got to allow people to join in. I had to start over from scratch, so it is what it is. We don't know how many people are going to be in the chat tonight. But to the ones who are here, I appreciate you. Now, let's talk about this man, Spike Lee. Okay. Now, from what I know of Spike Lee, from what I know, You guys tell me if you know anything different. From what I know of Spike Lee is known for making black films, particularly black American films, right? I mean, am I wrong? I mean, most notably, he's known for Malcolm X. He you know, Do the Right Thing, a lot of films. But my most famous, or the thing that I love about Spike Lee was when he made the Malcolm X movie. As we know, with the Malcolm X movie, Denzel Washington, he became Malcolm X, right? And actually, Spike Lee was actually one of the main characters in the Malcolm X movie. If you remember, he was Shorty. So and Spike Lee did that a lot. He used to play characters in some of his movies. So here this man is that made the movie about Malcolm X, and here he is teaming up with Uber, giving you free rides to go get injected. I'm going to read the comments real quick. I don't know how many people are in the chat. Can somebody please tell me, do you guys see this shit? Do you see how every single time they're what I'm saying is this, guys. I need you to see the pattern. This is why I don't care about these celebrities. If anybody remembers my older videos, I never even talked about the celebrities because I felt like whatever they did was affecting them, until I realized that they're using these celebrities to subconsciously suggest things to us. And they're using the trust factor of these celebrities to get to us. So that's why I'm talking about even Spike Lee or any of these people, to be honest. There's other things we can talk about, but I was at work when I saw this. And I'm going to play it one more time, because just look at Spike Lee sitting there doing his good old waving to the community. But most of the people in the video are brown. Remember, guys, let me pull out this statistic real quick, just to make everything clear, because I haven't pulled this statistic out in a minute. Do you guys remember this statistic? Look at this statistic, guys. The statistic says a poll by the Associated Press. Listen to this, guys. A poll by the Associated Press, NORC Center for Public Affairs Research in March found that, listen to these numbers. Can somebody put 24%? Listen to this. A poll by the Associated Press Center for Public Affairs Research in March found that about 24% of Black American adults said they will probably or definitely not get injected. I'll say that one more time. They're saying here, which I don't believe these numbers, but let's just go with their numbers. They said that 24% of Black Americans will not get injected. And then they went on to say in the later paragraph that 26% are white Americans. So look at this, guys. By their own definition, by their own statistics, they're telling us that more white Americans do not want to get injected than Black Americans. Can I say that one more time? Read that first paragraph for yourself. Don't listen to me. Read that first paragraph. Don't listen to anything else but that first paragraph. It says that 24% of us do not want to get injected, but 26% of white Americans don't want to get injected. So that means there's more conspiracy theorists. If there's such a thing, there's more conspiracy theorists in the so-called white community than there is in the so-called Black community. Do we understand the severity of this? Do we understand that why am I bringing that up? Why am I bringing that up? I'm bringing that up because why do we have so much marketing towards Black Americans? Can someone tell me that? Why do we have so much marketing towards us? And they're talking about our hesitancy. They're talking about how we don't want to take it. I talked about the Daniel Kaluuya thing where he was making fun of us. Everybody making fun of us because we don't want to take it. You got all these celebrities coming out telling just Blacks to take it. But when you read the statistics that I did not make up, I did not make this shit up, guys. When you read the statistics, it said that 24% of us do not want to take it, which, by the way, again, I don't believe any of these numbers. Because if you really think about it, they said that 40. Let's read this whole comment real quick. Let's read the bullshit from these people, shall we? A poll by the Associated Press Center for Public Affairs Research in March found that about 24% of Black American adults said they will probably or definitely not get injected. That's down from 41% in January. So here they're saying 41%, almost half of our Black population in January of this year. Listen to this. They're saying nearly half of the Black population as a whole did not want to get injected in January. But by March, only 24% of us didn't want to get injected. Do you hear how bullshit that is? Because what happened? Nothing happened in between those 2 months to make us not want to get it, to make us all of a sudden want to get the injection. But let's just go with their numbers, guys. Let's just believe the red man. The red man says only 24% of us are hesitant. So then in 26% of whites are hesitant. So why isn't he focusing on them? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Hold on, let me read these comments because I don't even know if y'all hear me. I don't even know it. Am I going crazy? I mean, I know I'm going crazy, but damn, am I not making sense? Their own fucking statistics. 26% of them don't want to get it. 24% of us don't want to get it. So who do you think they should focus more on trying to get it? The one with more population who doesn't want it. But no, then you don't hear anything about, hey, white Americans, why don't you get injected? So let's go back to Spike Lee real quick. Shall we go to Spike Lee? Let me watch one more time this dude, Spike Lee, telling us to get injected with Uber. He said you can get a free Uber ride. Because remember, the video that got my channel taken down was that video that I put up where I showed you guys that that Krispy Kreme was giving out free donuts. I put a video on my channel that said Krispy Kreme is giving out free donuts if you get injected. YouTube took my video down because of that. Took my whole channel down because of that, which was a fact. You can go look it up. Krispy Kreme is giving out a free glazed motherfucking donut if you get injected. But now here Spike Lee is talking about, yeah, we're going to give you a free ride with Uber. But we're not going to give you a ride, to the bank to get a loan or nothing like that. We're just going to give you a fucking ride to go get injected.
Hey, y'all, look at this.
This is our block, our place, our people. Our block is just like yours, full of the people who shaped you. They all deserve care and access to the vaccine, no matter their dress, income, or skin color. Not having a ride to get the vaccine can't be the reason you don't get it. You want to help? Donate a ride today.
Yeah, you see it. I just want to show you that all of our top celebrities and black leaders and all the black influential motherfucking figures in the black community are selling their motherfucking soul right before our very eyes. And you might say that I'm exaggerating, but you just don't see what's happening yet. Regardless of this so-called injection is real or fake or if it's effective or not, you just need to understand that these people, Spike Lee doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. They don't know the fucking effects of this thing long term. Why are they so gung-ho about selling it to us and particularly selling it to black Americans? You better wake the fuck up. These guys are sold out. All right, let me calm down. Please vibrate higher.
Okay, now, class, are we paying attention? Please press 7 in the chat. I know we don't have that many people in today because, like I said, I got to start over, man. And to the people who's sticking with me, just know y'all my day ones. If I come up, then we come up. But in the meantime, please press 7 because I need y'all to understand something real quick. I'm about to, can somebody put, man, look, I'm about to turn Spike Lee into a fucking pack. I'm tired of turning these celebrities and oh my God. Okay, so here Spike Lee is giving us free injections, right? And you may ask yourself, why is he doing this? Because remember, guys, this is the man who made Malcolm X, the movie Malcolm X. And you're telling me he's now telling us to trust the red man with injections? Are you kidding me? Now, here's my question. I know I don't even have to ask it. But guys in the chat, do you think Malcolm X would be sitting there on a commercial with Uber if he was still alive at 70, 80 years old, however old Malcolm X would have been? Do you think Malcolm X would have been sitting there with a commercial with Uber telling black Americans to get injected? Yes or no? Just let me know before I even move forward. Because remember, Spike Lee made the Malcolm X movie. This is what really gave him credibility in the black community. Yeah, he had Do the Right Thing and all this other little shit, but let me be honest, I never even give a fuck about other movies, really. I saw School Days, that was a good movie, whatever, but Malcolm X is what gave him credibility as far as his directorial thing, as far as for everybody. Are we okay? So we know that Malcolm wouldn't do that, right? But then you might ask yourself, why the fuck did Spike Lee do that? Because by proxy, if Spike Lee was on the same resonance or the same vibration as Malcolm X, or you know, because remember, this is the same man who made all the movies about, you know, didn't he make the Tuskegee Airmen movie? I don't know if that was Spike Lee, but Spike Lee makes nothing but black movies. Black oppression, black pain. Didn't Spike Lee make that movie School Days where they were like, wake up? Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Somebody put that in the chat. Am I right or am I wrong? Did Spike Lee make that movie School Days where at the end, Lawrence Fishburne runs up and says, wake up? Yes or no? I just remembered that. Let me read these comments. Does anybody remember that movie School Days with Spike Lee? Was that movie where at the end they came up and yelled, wake up? Let me read these comments real quick, because on the StreamYard, these comments are kind of slow. Yeah, exactly, Bryce. So this nigga made a movie talking about telling us to wake up. Now he's telling us to get injected. But maybe you might ask yourself why he's doing that. I'm going to give you a little bit more clarity, class. Remember, this is the classroom. I'm going to give you some clarity why Spike Lee is doing shit, huh? Can y'all see me? My internet's about to start fucking up already because they know I'm about to get it in. My Wi-Fi, it says my Wi-Fi strength is medium. Fuck. Is medium? Can y'all hear me? What up, Net B? Neat, is it Neat? Netty B? Netty B, I think it's Netty B. What up, Netty B? But look at this dude, Spike Lee, real quick. Just look at this shit.
And the Oscar goes to...
Oh, the house! Charlie Wachtell, David Rabinowitz, and Kevin Wilmot and Spike Lee!
This is the first Oscar nomination for Charlie Wachtell, David Rabinowitz, and Kevin Wilmot. It's the first win and fifth nomination for Spike Lee.
All right. Rob. All right. I want to thank Tanya Jackson Satchel. The word today is irony. The date, the 24th, the month, February, which also happens to be the shortest month of the year, which also happens to be Black History Month. The year 2019, the year 1619. History, her story. 1619, 2019, 400 years. 400 years, our ancestors were stolen from Mother Africa and brought to Jamestown, Virginia, enslaved. Our ancestors worked from the land from Kansas City in the morning to Kansas City at night. My grandmother, Zimmy Sheldon Retha, who lived to be 100 years young, who was a Spelman College graduate, even though her mother was a slave. My grandma, who saved 50 years of Social Security checks to put her first grandchild, she called me Spiky Poo. She put me through Morehouse College and NYU grad film. NYU. Before the world tonight, I give praise to our ancestors who helped build this country and what is today, along with the genocide of its native people. We all connect with our ancestors. We will have love, wisdom, we will regain our humanity. It will be a powerful moment. The 2020 presidential election is around the corner.
Okay, so we see this nigga. First of all, can somebody tell me why this nigga's shaking like he got? Let me not even go there. Let me not disrespect nobody. Why is this nigga shaking up there in front of all them red people? And nigga, if you talking about 400 years in our oppression, you better say it with your motherfucking chest. I'm sorry, guys. Can somebody put hashtag say it with your mother? Say it with your chest. Can y'all see me, man? Here we go with the internet shit. Can y'all see me? I'm trying my best with this internet shit. It's really going. There's nothing I could do about the internet thing, guys. I swear. I wish I could. But I'm a runaway slave, so I can only go. I can only do what I can. I'm a runaway slave, so this signal might get disrupted, guys. This is like some end of the world shit where I'm trying to bring you these last fucking videos, and they're gonna fucking disrupt my fucking signal. But first of all, yeah, KJ, whose man's is this with all the fucking triangles on his suit and shit? So this nigga, okay, let me play that one more time because I don't think y'all saw it. That was the Oscars. By the way, that's the thing that all those black celebrities, look, the Oscars is this right here. You know, all those black celebrities go to the Oscars. You know what I'm talking about. All those black celebrities, and they love the fucking Oscars. Everybody loves the fucking Oscars, right? What up, Robert? Y'all can hear me and y'all can see me, right? Yes. YouTube is going to fuck with my stream. So if my thing goes black, just know I'm coming back. Yes, I'm going to say it again. If my screen goes black, just know I'm coming back. So anyway, this is where the black celebrities go to feel worshiped by the white man. When they go, or forgive me, not the white man, I mean the red man. They go to the Oscars. They love the fucking Oscars, right? Okay. So here Spike Lee is at the Oscars. He got his first Oscar, guys. Remember, Spike Lee didn't get an Oscar for Malcolm X. He got an Oscar for some other shit he did up under some red men. I'm going to say it one more time. Malcolm X did not get an Oscar, even though that deserved an Oscar. And if you haven't seen the movie Malcolm X, you need to see the movie. I implore you to see that movie. It shows the transformation of a black person that can be for the betterment of our community, not just about a person. But now here this man made that beautiful movie. He knows all about black oppression, and he's up there talking about 400 years, 1619. He's talking about all of his ancestors. Remember the word ancestors. Can somebody put hashtag ancestors? Somebody put hashtag ancestors before we move forward, because here he is talking about the ancestors again. Remember, I told you in the beginning, we got to identify shit in the year 2021. They talk about, I believe in God. Which God do you serve? Lowercase or capital? They talk about, oh, crystals and astrology. Where did you learn that? Let's just be very honest. Where did we learn all this astrology stuff? And can you really break it down? Okay, tell me exactly what a Leo is. Tell me exactly what a Sagittarius is. Tell me exactly what, like, are we bound to those, like, let's have a real conversation. Because at the end of the day, the Most High looks down and spits upon all these other different type of forms of worship. I'm just going to tell you that. I have to tell you that. All this other shit. And yes, we do revere and remember and appreciate the efforts of our ancestors, such as Malcolm, such as Harriet, such as whoever you want to name. But what we're not going to do is worship anybody but the Most High God. That's what we're not going to do over here. So every time somebody come with this ancestor stuff and I'm black, y'all, I'm black, y'all, I'm bliggity black and I'm black, y'all, you better just be careful. And by the way, speaking of I'm black, y'all, I know y'all see the hat. And for my patrons, man, listen, I promise I got everything coming for y'all. I'm working on a number of things. But do you see me here? Do you see this? I don't want nobody stealing my shit. Do you see me? Do you see me? Do you see me? You see me. Don't, if anybody else has this, that's my shit. Now, Robert says astrology is just for fun. No, a lot of people really, really love astrology, and I'm not here to shit on anybody's beliefs, but again, I'm here to challenge it. If it is what it is, you're going to want to sit down with me. Tell me all 12 signs off the top of your head. Tell me what each one does that's particular to them and only them. And then we're going to sit them side by side and see if, hey, isn't that similar to that? Oh, I'm a Gemini. I'm headstrong. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm stubborn. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Sit down. Wait. Headstrong and stubborn, those are the same things. You guys are just saying a bunch of shit. That's what I'm hearing. Well, and then you start getting into and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But they're like, I'm a Virgo in my third moon. My third moon is in Aquarius. Listen, stop it. Stop it. Did you come up with that? Who taught you that? Where did you sit down and hear that at? You didn't come up with that out of nowhere. The third moon in Sagittarius. Who taught you that? Were you doing some tarot card reading shit? Some palm reading shit? Some crystal ball shit? You had a magic cauldron? With the don't let me find out you niggas into. Now, with that being said, let's watch Spike Lee one more time before we move forward, because we got to move forward. We got a whole show. I just want to introduce to you these cool ass niggas.
And the Oscar goes to
the house, Charlie Wachtell, David Rabinowitz, and Kevin Wilmot, and Spike Lee.
This is the first Oscar nomination for Charlie Wachtell, David Rabinowitz, and Kevin Wilmot. It's the first win and 5th nomination for Spike Lee.
First of all, that's how you know he's doing some shit behind the scenes. You never jump on another man where your feet are off the ground and you wrapped around him like a motherfucker. No, you never. Did you see that? You never. Who's man? Hold on, bro. Whose mans is that?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
How do you win an Oscar, your first Oscar, and it's under some red men, it is not from Malcolm X, and then you go up there shaking and shivering with a little bitty bright purple Barney suit on with triangles all over the hat and all over the lapel, and you talking about 400 years and all ancestors, but you can't even put your chest up and say it. You talk about all our ancestors who fought for this. When you up there jumping on grown men with your feet off the ground like a toddler, like you ordered a kid's meal, like you ordered the kids' grilled cheese with a side of fruit, like you got an apple juice and the kids' chicken nuggets, you short man. What is going on here? What is going on here? This is not normal. This is not how things are supposed to function. You do not go up in front of the world, talk about 400 years, and then jump on some man.
And the Oscar goes to
the house, Charlie Wachtell, David Rabinowitz, and Kevin Wilmot, and Spike Lee.
This is the first Oscar nomination for Charlie Wachtell, David Rabinowitz, and Kevin Wilmot. It's the first win and 5th nomination for Spike Lee.
All right. Rob. All right. I want to thank Tanya Jackson Satchel. The word today is irony. The date.
I don't want to watch this stupid ass nigga. Anyway, this dude is a sellout. And I just wanted to show you all that ancestor talk. Well, why are you telling us to get injected by the red man? The ancestors wouldn't want that. The ancestors wouldn't want that. Okay, guys? Let me bring this up for clarification, just for everybody to be clear. Before I move forward, for everybody to be clear, let's read this together, shall we? Let's read this together, guys, because I want you guys to have fun. Listen, let's read this together because this is a classroom, as you see, and I want this to be fun, but I also want it to be educational. I want you guys to be able to give this information out in real life. I'm gonna say that one more time. I want you guys to watch this and have fun, but truly, ultimately, I want you guys to go in your real life and say this to people and watch their reaction. You should see the reaction when I tell people this in real life. I got some videos for y'all in the works. Lord willing, I can put them out and let y'all guys see it, but you should see the reactions when I show people this. This is real from Google, from Wikipedia, your favorite source. Let's read this together, and I want you to take a screenshot, write it down, take a mental note. I don't give a fuck. Remember this and tell somebody this. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this. I'm going to read this, but I want you to read it yourself, and I want you to take a mental note of it, okay? Look at this. The Tuskegee, now listen, remember, we know it as the Tuskegee experiments, but now they're changing the language. They're calling it the Tuskegee study, okay? Even though we know what's going on. But listen, this is the point I'm making. Listen closely, guys. The Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, informally referred to as the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, the Tuskegee syphilis study, the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the African American male, the U.S. Public Health Service syphilis study at Tuskegee, or the Tuskegee experiment. These are all the different names that they call it. But listen to this, guys. Listen to this last sentence. Was an ethically abusive. Can somebody put in the chat hashtag ethically abusive? The Tuskegee experiment, the Tuskegee study, was a ethically abusive. I need you to please, because remember, this is not a live stream. This is an online pro bono course. I'm going to say it one more time. And before I even continue, this is the FBI federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107, YouTube. Now, with that being said, guys, look at this. Can somebody put hashtag ethically abusive? Ethical abuse. Now look at this. It was an ethically abusive study. Read this. Somebody else put 1932 to 1972. No. Just put 1972. I'm going to put that in the chat too. We're going to put hashtag ethically abusive because I need you guys to remember this. That's why I'm making you guys do this. I need you to remember it in your brain, like when you're sleeping. Ethically abusive, because remember, this is why they took my channel down, guys. They took my channel down because I'm giving out this information, and it's not incorrect. This is their information they don't want you to know. So the Tuskegee experiment was an ethically abusive or ethically abusive study conducted up until 1972. Remember that, guys. So anytime they try to tell you that slavery was so long ago and all this other shit, don't worry about slavery and racism is over and it was so long ago you don't even remember it. Why are you worried about it? Just tell them that 1972 they were still experimenting on us, particularly in only us. Why? They still haven't been able to excuse this shit. All they did was apologize for it after they got exposed. But listen to the most important part, guys. Because remember, now that we know that they were experimenting on us in 1972, now that we know that it was ethically abusive study, who did this, guys? Can you see at the end who did this? Conducted by the United States Health Service. And who is that? Who conducted this? Look at the last sentence. It was conducted by the United States Public Health Service and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Does anybody know what the name of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is? Do you know what's another name for the Center for Disease Control and Prevention? Yes, Robert, the CDC. That's what they call it. And now I don't want to get too creepy here because I don't want YouTube to fuck with me too bad. But yeah, that's how it goes. That's what's going on, guys. That's what's going on. The CDC, okay? The CDC is the one who conducted the Tuskegee experiment, guys. I'm going to say it one more time. The same CDC who is now telling you what you have to do, what mask you have to wear, and what shot you have to get. It's not even a different, guys. Hold on. It's not even a different name. They didn't even name themselves anything different. They were still called the CDC, and today they are still the CDC. You tell me. You tell me, guys, how can I... Okay, let's just be real before we move forward because I need you guys to understand that before we move forward with anything. The CDC, the same company, it's the exact same company. They didn't change their name. It's not just another American health system. It is the CDC, the same company. And now they're trying to kick me off of YouTube for talking about it. Okay. Okay. Well, since we're talking about the CDC and all these other people, let's look at this. Let's look at this one, guys. Ooh, this one's a good one. This one is a good one. I don't know if you even heard about this one, guys. Ooh, do I have the fucking receipt for this? Hold on. I got too many receipts right now. Okay, look at this, guys.
We're going to turn now to a shocking announcement that seemed to come out of nowhere. Bill and Melinda Gates, among the richest couples in the world, are splitting after 27 years of marriage. CBS's Ben Tracy on this billionaire's breakup.
Microsoft back to society.
It was a match made at Microsoft, and now it's over. In a statement on Twitter today, Bill and Melinda Gates said after a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage. The couple first met when Melinda Gates was a marketing manager at Microsoft, the company Bill Gates co-founded.
I could sense that he was a bit interested, and but it took him quite a few months before he finally asked me out.
The couple have 3 children and for the past 2 decades have been a powerful force in philanthropy, giving away more than $50 billion.
It became something that, we get to do together. We're, partners in crime.
In 2000, they started the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to address issues of poverty and disease around the world. More recently, Bill Gates has shifted his focus to tackling climate change. In their statement, the couple says, "We will continue our work together at the foundation, but we no longer believe we can grow together as a couple in this next phase of our lives." This comes just 2 years after another billionaire tech titan, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, announced his split from his wife of 25 years, Mackenzie. Bill Gates is the 4th richest person in the world, worth approximately $130 billion. The financial details of the divorce are not yet known. Ben Tracy, CBS News, Washington.
Okay, so that is brand new spanking news, guys. That just came out today. I'm going to pull up the screenshot of that. Bill Gates, the Bill William Gates, the man. Because remember, Bill Gates is with the CDC, the World Health Organization. These are the people that got me kicked off. Okay? But remember this, guys. This is today. Today, Bill Gates, out of nowhere, out of fucking nowhere, the Bill Gates announces he's getting a divorce. Right? And you might say, okay, what's the big deal? I'm going to tell you why it's a big deal. He says, now read this with me, guys. Bill Gates says, after a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage. Okay? Over the last 27 years, we have raised 3 incredible children and built a foundation that works in that mission and will continue our work together at the foundation, but we no longer believe we can grow this next phase of our lives, guys. Bill Gates is going to another phase of his life. Now, you might ask yourself, what does that mean? What does it mean that Bill Gates is going to another phase of his life? And why does it matter that Bill Gates is getting a divorce? And what does Bill Gates have to do with me? Well, I'm going to try to show you my best what I can show you. But let's look at this other video from Bill Gates and his now about to be ex-wife. This video is not even a year old. I'm going to say that again. The video I'm about to show you is not even 1 year old. This video is 8 months old of Bill Gates sitting right next to his wife, who to me looks like Mrs. Doubtfire. Can somebody put that in the chat? Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm not even going to say what I'm trying to say, but Bill Gates' wife looking very Mrs. Doubtfire-ish, sitting right next to him looking weird as fuck.
They deserve to get this vaccine first. And from there, you want to do tiering in various countries to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be Blacks and Native Americans, to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be Blacks and Native Americans, to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be Blacks and Native Americans.
People with underlying health conditions and the elderly. And so we need to look at as a globe, and we're involved with many European leaders and African leaders and others in Southeast Asia to make sure there's a purchasing fund that can pull that vaccine through when it's available and get it out in wide-scale distribution.
So we, we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say is will get attention this time.
Mm-hmm.
Will get attention this time.
Mm-hmm. Remember, that was not even a year ago. That was not even 1 year ago. That was 8 months ago. Those two people sitting next to each other with these weird, sinister smiles. I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room, shall we? I mean, I've put these videos out before, but since my channel got deleted, let's talk about it again and let's reevaluate why every time we see Bill Gates particularly, but also his wife, why are they smiling like that? Why are they just, yes, and we want to help you, yes, and we want to, yes, we made a new chemical for you, yes, me and my company, we made we did science for you, trust in our science, Why are they always sitting like that? They're sitting so weird, and then they're talking about, we're going to inject blacks first. The black people deserve it. I'm going to ask you a real life question, black people, aside from all the bullshit that I've ever said. Since when did rich red people care so much about you that they wanted you to be first in line for some shit to save your fucking life? When? I'm asking you to think, critically use your mind. When has that ever been a reality? When has a bread man ever stepped out of his Bentley to even give you a crumpled up dollar? Never.
They deserve to get this vaccine first. And from there, you want to do tiering in various countries to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be Blacks and Native Americans, to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be Blacks and Native Americans, to make sure your most vulnerable populations get it. In our country, that would be Blacks and Native Americans.
People with underlying health conditions and the elderly. And so we need to look at as a globe, and we're involved with many European leaders and African leaders and others in Southeast Asia to make sure there's a purchasing fund that can pull that vaccine through when it's available and get it out in wide-scale distribution.
So we, we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say is will get attention this time.
Mm-hmm.
Will get attention this time.
Mm-hmm.
So he said there's going to be a next one, another pandemic that's going to get more attention than the first pandemic. Let's remember, Bill Gates said that. 8 months ago, Bill Gates said there's going to be another pandemic that's worse than the first. But I just want you to notice the body language of these two people who are now getting a divorce. Internet's fucking up, forgive me. I want you to notice the body language. Can y'all see me? Press 7 if y'all can hear me and see me. Am I fucking up still? Can y'all hear me? Where y'all want to go? The weed room? Let's go to the weed room. All right. So let's focus more on the body language of those people, but also watch this shit too. This is another clip of the same interview, but another clip. Listen to this shit.
I'm hopeful that, you know, as the vaccine comes and people do start to use it, it will quell down some of these kind of silly conspiracy theories that are out there.
Well, speaking of conspiracy theories, how are you guys doing personally? I mean, you're now both the subject of a lot of these conspiracy theories. You're doing amazing work and putting a lot of time and money and effort into it, and then this is to some degree what you get. How is that personally affecting you both?
Well, the disinformation is just, it's confounding on the one hand. And on the other hand, we're still just putting our heads down and doing the work. It doesn't change our daily life to have those conspiracy theories out there. We know they're not true. You know, they certainly come up a little bit with the kids in the household. By the way, we do have, our son came home early from college, and unfortunately for him. So that conversation comes up, but it doesn't change what we do on a day-to-day basis, luckily.
Bill, you look a little bit bemused.
Well, you know, I hope it remains a humorous thing, that there aren't anything more that comes of that. You know, it's not like we're going to back off or anything. You know, some news channels have been better than others on these things. And, you know, it just shows there's certain primal concerns about, you know, medicine and science and experts that when people are worried, they're kind of more open-minded to unusual explanations.
Yeah, I think there's a, you know, look, there's a lot of anxiety for good reason in the country right now, and a lot of tension, and people are more glued at home. They have more time. So in some ways, maybe this was inevitable, but I know my husband is not vaccinating people and putting a microchip in her arm, because that technology doesn't even exist, and he's never uttered the words out of his mouth. So I know my husband is not vaccinating people and putting a microchip in her arm, because that technology doesn't even exist, and he's never uttered the words out of his mouth. So
what the fuck was that?
Fuck you, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Back the fuck up. I'll knock the fuck out you.
What the fuck? What just happened? Hold on. I gotta see that shit again. I have to see it one more time, because I don't think I heard that right.
I'm hopeful that, you know, as the vaccine comes and people do start to use it, it will quell down some of these kind of silly conspiracy theories that are out there.
Well, speaking of conspiracy theories, how are you guys doing personally? I mean, you're now both the subject of a lot of these conspiracy theories. You're doing amazing work and putting a lot of time and money and effort into it, and then this is to some degree what you get. How is that personally affecting you both?
Well, the disinformation is just, it's confounding on the one hand. And And on the other hand, we're still just putting our heads down and doing the work. It doesn't change our daily life to have those conspiracy theories out there. We know they're not true. You know, they certainly come up a little bit with the kids in the household. By the way, we do have our son came home early from college, and unfortunately for him. So that conversation comes up, but it doesn't change what we do on a day-to-day basis, luckily.
Bill, you look a little bit bemused.
Well, you know, I hope it remains a humorous thing, that there aren't anything more that comes about. You know, it's not like we're going to back off or anything. You know, some news channels have been better than others on these things. And, you know, it just shows there's certain primal concerns about, you know, medicine and science and experts that when people are worried, they're kind of more open-minded to unusual explanations.
Yeah, I think there's a, you know, look, there's a lot of anxiety for good reason in the country right now, and a lot of tension, and people are more glued at home. They have more time. So in some ways, maybe this was inevitable, but I know my husband is not vaccinating people and putting a microchip in her arm, because that technology doesn't even exist, and he's never uttered the words out of his mouth. So I know my husband is not vaccinating people and putting a microchip in her arm, because that technology doesn't even exist, and he's never uttered the words out of his mouth. So
that's suspicious. That's weird.
I don't know. It's just suspicious to me. That's just really suspicious. But you know what makes it even more suspicious? Let's run through the timeline. So I woke up today, about to do my live stream. I find out Bill Gates is getting divorced, right? Then I remember those videos that I just showed you guys less than a year ago where they're sitting buddy-buddy. Now, the first thing I need to ask you guys is this, and it's very clear. Please press 7 in the chat if you're ready for me to ask you the first question. I need to make sure you guys are listening. I know there's not many people, but please press 7 if you're listening. There's a reason why I talk about all the shit that I talk about. There's a lot of gossip channels and all these other channels that just bash or whatever. I'm talking about these things for a reason. I'm sweating and shit. I need to see a 7 in the chat. Okay. What up, Felicia? Peace to everybody in the chat. Now, here's the reason why I bring up Bill Gates. Because if he can sit there with his wife, buddy, telling us about the injection and how everything's so great and grand and nothing's wrong, when in actuality, he just was talking about he has irreconcilable differences with this woman. Let's read the tweet again. This this man put out. He says, remember, this is today, guys. After a great deal of thought and a lot of work on our relationship, we have made the decision to end our marriage. Over the last 27 years, we have raised 3 incredible children, built a foundation that works all over the world, enabled people to live healthy, productive lives. We continue to share belief in a mission that will continue our work together at the Net Foundation, but we have no longer believed, listen to this, we no longer believe we can grow together as a couple in this next phase of our lives. Somebody let me know. What is the next phase of Bill Gates's life? Now, before you answer that for me, before you answer me, what is the next Bill Gates? The next, I need a few answers. What is the next phase of Bill Gates' life? I also need the answer of how the fuck did they sit here smiling in our face, telling us everything was okay, like they were the perfect Brady Bunch couple when 8 months later they would get an irreconcilable divorce? That is the second question. But the final cherry on the top, that fuck those other 2 questions. This is the real question I have for you guys. Are you guys ready for the real question I have for you? Here's the real question I have for you guys, and be ready to have your fucking mind blown, because I'm just going to poke my chest out real quick. I am the receipt king. J-Lethal, the dude you're watching right now, I'm censored, runaway slave. I am the receipt king. I might not have the most subscribers. I might not have the this or that, the most money, but I'm the motherfucking receipt king. And I poke my chest out with that one. Now, since I got the receipts, here's the last question I want to ask y'all before I move forward on this Bill Gates character, if that is who his really name is. Why did Bill Gates step down from Microsoft? Listen to this, guys. Look at the date right above his head. Look at the date. Can somebody put the date in the chat? What date did Bill Gates step down from Microsoft? On what date? It's right above his head. You can see it in the little gray letters right above his head. What date did Bill Gates step down from Microsoft? Let me know. Please, somebody let me know. All my internet's kind of fucking up, so my stream is moving kind of slow. I hope y'all can hear me. Please press 7 if y'all can hear me. But okay, Jermaine says he stepped down on 3/13. Felicia says he stepped down on 3/13. Does anybody know what else? Does anybody else know what day 3/13, 2020? What was so special about March 13th, 2020? Oh, KJ, that was the way, yeah, oh yeah. You know what? I dang near forgot about that, KJ. You know what? I completely forgot about the day the entire globe shut down. No, Bryce, it was not the 15th because I remember particularly for a number of reasons. Now, let me explain why. Y'all can go look this up. Bryce, please go look it up, by the way, because I need us to always be on point. I need you to be on point. I need me to be on point. And if I'm off point, you need to let me get on point. But right now, I am the receipt king. I am in my bag. And yes, the day the world shut down was March 13th. You better go research it. Bryce, Google it. Bryce, you better Google that thing. Because you know why I know? This is why I know that was the day the world shut down. 2 reasons why I remember March 13th, 2020. The first reason was because that was the first day I was supposed to start my job and everything shut down and I was broke. And I was pissed as fuck. And I'm going to always remember that day. But also I figured it was really, really weird because it was March 13th, Friday. It was a Friday. It was a Friday the 13th, y'all.
What is going on here? This is not normal. This is not how things are supposed to function.
It was a Friday the 13th, and y'all can look it up if I'm wrong. Let me know. Jermaine, am I wrong? Am I wrong that it was Friday the 13th when the world shut down? Because, I mean, unless, you ever heard of the Mandela effect? Maybe I'm forgetting some shit. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm really going kooky. Cuckoo. Maybe I'm really going fucking cuckoo, but I know for a number of reasons because, again, that was the day I was supposed to start my job and everything shut down and I got the email. Also, I remember I said, damn, Friday the 13th? And that's when Donald Trump put it out. We want to declare the national emergency and all this other shit. So let's go back to Bill Gates. Why am I bringing up Friday the 13th? Because Friday the 13th, 2020, the day the world shut down, just so happened to be, remember World Health Organization, I'm not making any claims and I'm only talking about, I'm using the Fair Rights Act to talk about this. But Bill Gates also just so happened, guys, can you get that? It was a coincidence. Bill Gates just so happened to step down from Microsoft. You know, the same shit that I'm recording this fucking on this computer right now. I'm using Microsoft to fucking bring you this information. Ain't that a fucking ironic doozy? I'm trying to destroy Bill Gates' fucking reputation on a Microsoft device. Fucking Xbox. You know how many nights I've spent on the Xbox? I've spent more nights on the Xbox than I've spent doing a lot of other things. That's Microsoft. Bill Gates was the man of Microsoft, and he just so happened, coincidentally, to step down on the day that the world shut down. And guess what he went into? Philanthropy. You can't make this stuff up. You can't even make it up. He went into philanthropy. How did he go into y'all? Are y'all looking at this? I didn't make this up. Go on Google and put in Bill Gates steps down from Microsoft. You're gonna see all the fucking results come out March 13th, March 14th. You mean to tell me the day after the shit shut down, or the day that it shut down, or the day before it shut down? Because remember, this is what you need to know. This is what you need to know. When they announced it, that was when they announced it. He had already made the decision, maybe whenever. So I believe it's strategized, because if you also go back, the head of Disney stepped down, if I'm not mistaken. The head of Hulu stepped down. The head of Uber and some other companies stepped down like a few days before the world was shut down. And I'm just saying, I'm not making no claims, but y'all can look into a lot of these big companies. If y'all remember, I know a lot's been going on, but if you can take yourself back to last March in 2020, all these companies, the head CEO started stepping down a day or two before the world shut down. And then it was looking real suspicious. And Bill Gates was the most notable above them. He did it right. So you tell me, why am I bringing out these receipts? Well, because I'm talking about the strategy of the serpent. And it's looking here like this man is moving with strategy. So now when I wake up and I see all of a sudden him and his wife are divorcing, I'm wondering, what's the strategy? Can somebody put hashtag strategy? I'm wondering, what's the hashtag strategy of this serpent who just 8 months prior was sitting next to this Mrs. Doubtfire looking woman telling us everything is dandy. Do you need to see the video again?
I'm hopeful that, you know, as the vaccine comes and people do start to use it, it will quell down some of these kind of silly conspiracy theories that are out there.
Well, speaking of conspiracy theories, how are you guys doing personally? I mean, you're now both the subject of a lot of these conspiracy theories. You're doing amazing work and putting a lot of time and money and effort into it. And then this is to some degree what you get. How is that personally affecting you both?
Well, the disinformation is just, it's confounding on the one hand. And on the other hand, we're still just putting our heads down and doing the work. It doesn't change our daily life to have those conspiracy theories out there. We know they're not true. You know, they certainly come up a little bit with the kids in the household. By the way, we do have, our son came home early from college, and unfortunately for him. So that conversation comes up, but it doesn't change what we do on a day-to-day basis, luckily.
Bill, you look a little bit bemused.
Well, you know, I hope it remains a humorous thing, that there aren't anything more that comes about. You know, it's not like we're going to back off or anything. You know, some news channels have been better than others on these things. And, you know, it just shows there's certain primal concerns about, you know, medicine and science and experts that when people are worried, they're kind of more open-minded to unusual explanations.
Yeah, I think there's, you know, look, there's a lot of anxiety for good reason in the country right now, and a lot of tension, and people are more glued at home. They have more time. So in some ways, maybe this was inevitable, but I know my husband is not vaccinating people and putting a microchip in her arm, because that technology doesn't even exist, and he's never uttered the words out of his mouth. So I know my husband is not vaccinating people and putting a microchip in her arm, because that technology doesn't even exist, and he's never uttered the words out of his mouth.
So yeah, guys. By the way, I just want to address what she said. Only a very small sector of us really truly believe that it's a microchip, although yes, there is evidence to suggest, strongly suggest or substantiate that that the technology is capable to make a microchip, as it were, for lack of a term, implantable into the skin. Because believe it or not, my dog, can somebody attest to this? Dog used to have a microchip in their body when I was young. I remember I couldn't understand it, but my mom, here we go with the internet shit again. But when I was young, my mom told me she got a microchip in my dog to be able to find the motherfucking dog. And I look into it, I find out they've been doing this shit since the 90s, microchipping dogs. So this woman just said there's no technology even available, possible to put a microchip in the skin. So it just seems like she's lying off top. But again, we're just asking questions. We're just asking questions, guys. Don't even, just take it with a grain of salt, shall we? Take it with a grain of salt. What is this? Hold on.
This long line of...
Oh yeah. I might as well play this since I already started to play it. Now listen, I don't know if this is true or not. Can somebody please tell me some more about this? I saw this and I wanted to mention it to you guys. Look at this real quick.
This long line of people here behind me. Some of them have been waiting for 7 or 8 hours, desperately hoping to get oxygen. People are taking shifts, taking turns to wait in this long line. And once you get to the front of the line, and I have to tell you, the line does not move quickly, there's absolutely no guarantee even that you're going to be able to get any oxygen. What you're seeing and feeling is a growing sense of anger, frustration, and desperation.
So I don't know I don't want to even speak on that because I just saw it. I just thought it was interesting. But supposedly in India, they're having an air crisis where the air is so contaminated or whatever with this pandemic that they have to go line up to go try to get air tanks to have fresh oxygen. I don't know how real that is or if that's propaganda or not. I just wanted to mention it to you guys because I remember when I was young, hearing the idea of people selling air. Have you ever heard of that? Like I remember thinking how crazy that idea was. Maybe one day they'll be able to sell us fresh air. They'll be able to sell us air. And I always used to think that was such a crazy idea that must be the end of the world if they can ever package air up for us and sell us air. We have to wait in line to go buy air to breathe. Y'all, okay, on a side note, can anybody prove to me that this is not hell? I mean, I hate to sound crazy, but can anybody prove that this isn't hell? Because it seems pretty close. We're out here buying air now. We got to wait in line for some... I got to wait in line for that? I got to wait in line? God damn, I got to wait in line to... Okay. But look at this. Hey, can I get a 7 in the chat from just one person? Bryce says, yeah, they've been microchipping dogs since at least the 1990s. And let me just bring out a conspiracy since I do have my hat. Do y'all like my hat? I made it into a, what's the name? By the way, I'm gonna be able to get this to the people who are my Patreon. Please join my Patreon down there below. You can join for as low as $3. I have a lot going on, so I haven't been able to make it as special as I have on there because it's a little different on Patreon. So I have to try to make it special. And I'm a one-man show. So please, if you are a member of Patreon or if you're thinking about joining, you can do so for as low as $3 a month. And I would really appreciate it. It would really help me to bring this live stream and all my other stuff is capable because of my people on Patreon. Now, with that being said, yes, they have been microchipping dogs since the 90s, and they have been cloning. This is my conspiracy. Hey, fair use. Can I bring that out again? Damn, man, I'm sorry I have to do this, guys, but they deleted my other channel, so now I got to move like a fucking lawyer. Fair use, guys. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, and exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or a video disc under certain circumstances without the authorized copyright holder. Okay? But I believe, and yes, you can look into how they've been cloning animals since the 1990s. I'm not going to get down to that, but since we're talking conspiracies about them microchipping dogs since the 90s, yes, they've also been cloning sheep since the 90s. Cloning cats, cloning dogs since the 90s. I remember seeing interviews and specials on 60 Minutes in 2020 about them cloning household animals. Your animal dies, you can cut off a piece of its skin, a piece of its DNA, send it into some laboratory in Japan, and then they reproduce your fucking dog. And that, you can look into that if you don't believe me. I don't got time to prove it. But on a side note, look at this, guys. Look at this, guys. Would you believe it? Is somebody, guys, are we surprised? Aren't you shocked? Is anybody shocked in here? Read this. Is anybody shocked in here, guys? I'm a little shocked. This man was sentenced to 4 years in prison and fined after setting a fire to a Minneapolis police station during a George Floyd protest. Ain't that some shit, guys? Peace to everybody in the chat. Please go press the thumbs up button because YouTube hates me. They deleted my whole motherfucking channel. They tried to discourage me, but we back. All praise to the Most High God. We gonna go harder than we did before. But is anybody surprised that this is the man that set the police station on fire for the Minneapolis George Floyd protest? This is the man. Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, I said it. Macaulay Culkin. Can somebody say Macaulay Culkin? Ah! Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin was home alone for so long that he decided to come out his rich ass house and go down to the George Floyd protests in Minneapolis, in downtown Minneapolis, and set fire to the police station. Oh, man. Why am I bringing that up, guys? Why is that even important? You know why that's important? That's important because in average conversation, the average white person, the average red person, the average red supremacist, or the average person who doesn't believe they're a red supremacist, but they're really a red supremacist on the low, they're going to use the fact that the police station was burned to the ground to blame who? Can you guess? Who are they going to blame if they didn't know that he was the one that set the fire? If he got away with it, if Macaulay Culkin got on this subway behind me, let's just paint the scene. Macaulay Culkin is at home alone. He's home alone for so long in Minnesota that he just decides to come outside and he uses all his tools to set fire to the police station. Then he gets on this subway behind me and he goes back home. Nobody knows about it. The next day, when the shit is burnt down, when the police station is burnt down in downtown Minneapolis after the George Floyd riot, who is going to get blamed for that? Let me read the comments. Who do you think the news is going to blame? Who do you think the average red supremacist is going to blame? Who do you think the average red liberal Democrat is going to blame? The average red person in conversation, who are they going to use to blame to justify why they treat us the way they treat us? Let me read the comments. Dennis the Menace looking ass. Wait, you say, if I believe the red man can clone things, but at the same time distrust vaccines? No, wait, Robert, how am I faking if I believe the red man can clone things and I distrust the vaccines? No, you just have, you lack the understanding, the overstanding. The overstanding is I don't put anything past the red man. So yes, I believe the red man is able to clone things, and which is hence why I'm not going to allow the red man to put anything inside of me. Doesn't that make the only sense? If I believe, now let's run down your thing, Robert, because I love you and I know you're just trying to gain understanding. But you're asking me, if I believe the red man can clone things, you're saying it's contradictory to not trust his injection. No. I believe to the contrary, sir. I believe because I know that the red man can do things like clone things, and he's making all type of abominations with his witchcraft and sorcery. Because of his witchcraft and sorcery and the power of his witchcraft and sorcery that the Bible speaks about, that's why I'm not going to open up my veins to him on some experimental shit. Doesn't that make sense? Hopefully you gain clarification from that. But let's move forward. Like I said, that was Macaulay Culkin. He's the one that set fire to the motherfucking downtown. But guess who's going to get blamed? That's what I want to know. Nobody's answered. Who's going to get blamed for the police station getting burnt down if Macaulay Culkin, Dennis the Menace, didn't get caught? If fucking Justin Bieber, Ellen DeGeneres looking ass didn't get caught? Little ragamuffin beat up Justin Bieber didn't get caught. So I'm not saying I necessarily even believe the cloning thing, but I'm just saying that's the news that they put out. But anyway, I think we're getting detracted. We have a whole story to go. We have a whole thing to talk about, guys. We have more stuff to talk about. Let's remember, again, this video is called Exodus because why? We're trying to exit the Matrix. Matter of fact, let's go to the Matrix. That's one of my favorite screens. I think we need to go there because I think y'all need to remember what the fuck is going on. I think you need to remember what's going on, Robert and other people. And like you said, you distrust everything. It's good to distrust. But what I'm saying is let's stay on board. We have to keep our mind open for everything, but allow all potential realities to exist. Don't necessarily digest anything, but always keep your mind open for all realities to exist. This is the only way we can exit this matrix, exit this land. Because guess what? Everything is spiritual before it's physical. So we're asking for slavery. We're asking to be freed from slavery. We're asking for equality. We're asking for liberation. We're asking for all these freedom, all these beautiful words. But what are we really asking for? Because let's be honest. Let's be very, very honest. And we know this to be true. If we got rid of all red people today, we still have a bunch of niggas that we got to deal with. Y'all saw my last live stream where niggas was dancing on each other's graves. I don't have the energy to talk about that again. But y'all remember the last live stream where black men were dancing on other black men's graves. If you don't remember, go watch my last live stream where I talked about black men filming themselves disrespecting their dead black enemies. So while we're exiting the matrix, we have to understand that we can't bring everybody with us. That's just how it's always been. That's how it will always be. Now is the time to make the differential of who goes where. Who are we linking up with? You have to start questioning everybody. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, The Truman Show, but there was a part in The Truman Show where it was Jim Carrey and he had his best friend. Supposedly he thought it was his best friend, and he's sitting there on the dock, sitting there in the car, and he's telling his best friend all of his most vulnerable secrets, telling his best friend he wants to travel, he wants to leave this place. He thinks people are watching him. He thinks somebody's on to him. He wants to try to break free from this matrix. And what did his so-called best friend do? His best friend tried to convince him to stay in the matrix. Why? Because he was being fed from a little microphone from somebody else who was scripting the whole fucking thing. Yes, that was a movie. But if you look at it metaphorically, that's exactly what's happening. Maybe they don't have somebody in their ear actually telling them what to say, but a lot of these people that you believe are your friends and family and colleagues are actually programmed subconsciously or consciously to keep your ass in the matrix. I'm not playing. I know what's going on. We have been programmed to keep each other in the matrix. This is what's going on, guys. I'm just going to give this a little bit of time to breathe. We all have been programmed to keep each other in the matrix. We have all been programmed to be Agent Smith. All of us. We have been programmed to keep each other in the matrix. It's not even a decision for us at some points. And unless we break out of the actual programming and be completely aware of and cognizant of every single decision that we make, we might be acting as an agent unaware of it. Is anybody understanding what I'm saying, or am I just babbling? I think I'm going crazy. Do y'all hear me? I don't know. Let's see what else we got. Press 7 if you're ready for my next video, please. Super user. Let me see if super user. I don't think I made you a moderator yet, because I don't think you were in my last chat, super user. What up, super user? Super user, am I tripping? Or haven't we all been programmed to keep each other in the matrix, knowingly or unknowingly? This is why your mother, this is why your brother, this is why your friend, this is why your teacher, your girlfriend, your boyfriend will try to keep you in the matrix and keep you from dreaming too big. They'll try to bring you back down to reality. They're always trying to talk some sense into you or rock you back down to sleep, even though you've researched what the fuck you've researched. Does that make sense to you? How is everybody trusting this injection when it has not been proven? Just explain that to me. Forget everything I've ever said before. Why is everybody so gung-ho about this injection? Does that not alarm anyone? And then I got my shit taken down because my information contradicts the consensus of the experts at the World Health Organization? Yes. Yes. I'm going to play that one more time just so that you guys can please understand what the fuck is going on.
Hey, y'all, look at this. So obviously a lot of y'all know that I got my channel taken down, and yes, I'm going to keep talking about it for a little while till I get it all out my system. But let's evaluate real quick the email that YouTube sent me when they finally took my channel down. And this is the email that they sent me for the video that finally got my channel taken down. I need you to notice what they say here. They say that YouTube doesn't allow information that contradicts the consensus of the experts at the World Health Organization. Now, that's a lot of big fancy words, right? But let's just break it down right now, because they're not saying that I gave out false information, incorrect information. They're not saying I was bullying anybody, harassing anybody. They didn't say I was calling anybody out their name or inciting violence. None of those things that you think that you would be kicked off the internet for. No, they said the information that I gave out in my content contradicted the consensus of the experts at the World Health Organization. Now, you can look up the World Health Organization. This is Bill Gates and them, essentially. And I need you to look at the word consensus. What does it mean to have a consensus? A consensus just means a group of people came together and they decided a thing. It doesn't mean that it's true. It pretty much could be an opinion. A consensus simply means a group of people came together and came to a conclusion. So let's just break that down, shall we? What if all of us watching this video came to the consensus that I am the best video maker in the world? I make the best videos in the world. That was everyone's consensus that's watching this video. Hey, this guy makes the best videos. That still doesn't make it fact. Even if most people agree with it, still doesn't make it a fact. Doesn't make it a truth. So if somebody else comes making videos and they claim to be the best, and we have the power to do so, and we're the so-called experts, we can silence that person for giving a contradictory consensus. Do you see how the devil operates? They say your information cannot contradict or oppose or say something differently than our consensus. So essentially, if we break this down in layman's terms, or just regular English for the regular first grader, what they're saying is, we kicked you off of YouTube because the information you're giving, although it's not incorrect, although it did not incite violence, although it did not bully anyone, the information that you gave out in your content was different than what we're saying. And we have the power to get rid of you.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
So, yeah, I just want you guys to see why this censorship thing is so fucking important, because fuck J-Lethal, right? I'm talking about you or anyone else that finds out some information and wants to help the rest of humanity and use the internet as the platform that it was meant to be, which is to disseminate information uninterrupted. But we already know that the big companies have monopolized the internet. So I just need you to understand why people are going so hard against this censorship thing. I mean, this is the land of the free, right? And if we don't have our freedom of speech or expression, what really do we have? Anyway, I need y'all to think about that. I did create a YouTube channel, a new YouTube channel. Y'all can go look up J-Lethal again. I'm not changing my name for these motherfuckers. I'm still J-Lethal.
My name is my name.
Keep looking for me, because I'm going to keep on making shit. And if this channel gets taken down, I'm going to keep on making shit. Follow me on Instagram, _Malcolm_X. Or if you want to take it a step further, you can become a patron on patreon.com/JLEETHAL7, where for as little as $3 a month, you can financially contribute to my journey and get all my exclusive content first before it drops anywhere else. With that being said, y'all, I love you. I ain't going nowhere. The beast is getting desperate, and please, vibrate higher.
You a pop. Oh, Lord, I can't get no help in here.
Okay, so we got to move forward. But before I move forward, this is a really good question I got in the chat. I got a really good question in the chat before we move forward. So Robert says, Lethal, why should we trust you? How can you prove that you're not an agent? Now, there's a good question. There's a good question. But the same question I would ask for when people say Malcolm X was an agent, Tupac was an agent. Believe me, I've heard it all. But see, there's a thin line here. Because what black people can do is we can label everybody an agent. So see, the problem is this: everything has moderation, right? Let's look at everyday life, Robert. Doesn't everything have moderation? Isn't that life? Doesn't everything operate with moderation? So with this same concept, we're gonna have moderation. We have agents, and then we have real people who are really trying to do what they're saying they're trying to do. Moderation and balance. Now, one might get more backing than the other. One might get more promotion. One might be more sought after or targeted than the other. But essentially, just like with everything else that we see in the earth, there is balance. There is moderation there. So the moderation becomes you have agents, and then you have people who are not agents. Now, I'm not saying I'm not an agent, although I'm not a motherfucking agent. But the question is this: you have to ask yourself, Robert, what would be my agenda? That's the question we have to see. This is why we're in the matrix, guys. Because now you have to peel back the layers. Okay, fair enough. Be cautious. Be suspicious of everybody. He's an agent. Okay, cool. But now let's run down his portfolio. Let's ask ourselves, how is he an agent? What is he an agent of? What is he trying to promote? What agenda is he going along with? See, this is why I mentioned young Pharaoh, and this is why I mentioned young Pharaoh by name. Again, all of this is about Exodus. Can somebody put hashtag Exodus? And coincidentally, Pharaoh was with Moses in Exodus. Moses and Pharaoh were so-called brothers in Egypt. But at some point, they had to make two separate paths. So what I'm saying is this. When I brought up young Pharaoh, for instance, I had never brought up young Pharaoh before, even though I had already had my suspicions on him. I finally brought it up when I had enough evidence to say this makes no sense. So the reason why I call young Pharaoh an agent out of my mouth, and I feel no reason about it, is because the things he's doing make no sense for the black community, and he's yet to address it. Me, I got my motherfucking chat up right now. You guys know I'll put the chat up right now if somebody want to get on the stream. As a matter of fact, hold on. Share, invite. I need to put the stream just in the chat just in case anybody needs to know. I always want to let it be known if anybody wants to have a conversation. You don't have to show your face. You can just you can just have your voice, or you can just put your voice like that, and you don't have to see our face. But I let it be known. Let me know what agent lets real people call in real live while he's sipping rosé on a Tuesday night. Let me know what agent comes out, got his channel deleted, and then shows you why he got his channel deleted, and then makes a brand new channel a day later. Young Pharaoh been gone from the internet. I've been looking for young Pharaoh. Young Pharaoh could have really made another channel if he was really, really, really about these motherfucking people. Yeah, young Pharaoh has a website, but so what? Fuck a website. I have a website, but I know everybody's not gonna join that motherfucker. And you better still do it for free if you're really about this shit. So I'm saying, if I'm an agent, let it be, but let somebody expose me why it makes sense I'm an agent. Until then, we have to trust. And I'm gonna let you know one thing, Robert. I'm gonna let you know one thing, and you know I love you. I got into a fight with the brother, and I'm not even gonna say that brother's name because I know this brother in real life. I live in Houston, Texas. If that brother's watching, he knows what I'm talking about. I got into a fight with the brother, a physical fight, and beat that man's ass. not less than 4 months ago, because we were sitting there and we were talking about Malcolm X, and these niggas talk about, yeah, he was an agent and this and that and the third. And I said, well, hold up, man. Unless you can prove something about a black man, I need you to shut your motherfucking mouth. Can I get a 7 in the chat? Unless you can prove something about a black man, shut your motherfucking mouth until further notice. Because black men out here are really moving, and these bitch ass niggas is gonna sit down. But let me take a sip. That's just what it is. Now, if I'm an agent, let somebody come out with the expose. You better believe I'm on YouTube every day searching up J-Lethal. I wish a motherfucker would make an expose about me and tell you something that I didn't tell you. I already told you I was homeless. I already told you I was a motherfucking runaway slave. I already told you I was in jail because I spanked my son, and now they got me on the motherfucking run with a $50,000 bond for motherfucking assault on a child when all I did was spank my son, but my son is trying to contact me. I already motherfucking told you. And if you don't know the motherfucking research, you better do the motherfucking research. I am a child and a saint of the Most High God, the same motherfucker I told you since the beginning. Now shall we move forward? Let's lighten the mood, because I think the Matrix got me feeling away. Or maybe it's this rosé. Let's lighten the mood, guys. Let's take it. Let's breathe. We are at the top of the Appalachian Mountains. It's okay, Robert. I love you. It's this rosé wine I've been sipping. I've got a lot on my mind. But also because I do this for the people. I do this for the people. My channel was taken down, and it felt like a hard punch to my gut. I was at work on a Saturday night when I found out I couldn't access my channel or my YouTube at all, or my Instagram or nothing. I felt like somebody punched my stomach, because the World Health Organization doesn't want me to tell you about the shit I'm telling you. Why would I be an agent for free? I have 11 people on Patreon. 11. I had 14, but I think the other two, they subscribed for the first month because they did the $21 pledge, and that was their pledge. I understand. I'm not bugging anybody. I'm not making sure you stay subscribed, but I have 11 people on Patreon. That is where I get any money that money is. I have not been on MTV, BET, CNN, CBC, NBC, I have not been on PBS. I have not been on the motherfucking Discovery Channel, Disney Channel. I have not been on Nickelodeon. If I was an agent, where the fuck is my money? Can I get a 7 in the chat? A little sippy, just a little. But we're at the high of the Appalachian Mountains. Robert says, breathe. Okay, I'm breathing. Look at this, guys. Oh, wait, hold on. Damn. Have y'all ever seen that movie Beetlejuice? Have you ever seen the movie Beetlejuice?
Sure. Go ahead, shoot. Well, for instance, what are your qualifications?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
Well, what I mean is, can you be scary?
Oh, I know you were asking me. Can I be scary? What do you think of this? You like it?
Okay, Robert. What do you think? You think I'm qualified? Can I be scary? Well, what do you think of this? Oh, can I be scary, Robert? Can I be scary? Well, what do you think of this? Can I be scary, Robert? Can I be scary? What do you think? Am I qualified?
Yep. 2 saniyelik, 2 saniyelik, 2 saniyelik.
Fucking shoot. Mother. Give me your mouth. Give me your nose. Give me your mouth and then your nose.
Yep. 2 saniyelik, 2 saniyelik, 2 saniyelik.
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! For real though. Police! Rape! Don't do that. Why would he go in her mouth and then in her nose through this little bitty ass glory hole?
Yep. 2 saniyelik, 2 saniyelik, 2 saniyelik.
Yeah, I guess we got enough. I guess we got the sample, guys. Don't worry. With dead ass deep in her throat than in her fucking boogers. Whatever, guys. Now watch this one. Guys, press 7. I guarantee you're not ready for this one. Press 7, every single person watching. You KJ, ready for this? KJ, are you ready for this one? Are you ready for this one, KJ?
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines. Help all the people who have been quarantined. We'll wear our masks and we'll have to stay distant. We'll wash our hands and we'll be more resistant. Fauci, yes? Promise us, please. We'll have a cure that can fight off this disease. Restrictions will lift with some ease. Dr. Fauci, don't forget me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
What the fuck?
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines. Help all the people who have been quarantined. We'll wear our masks and we'll have to stay distant. We'll wash our hands and we'll be more resistant. Fauci, yes? Promise us, please. We'll have a cure that can fight off this disease. Restrictions will lift with some ease. Dr. Fauci, don't forget me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? And you see I'm in the White House now. Yeah, they left the door unlocked. I got in that bitch. I'm in this bitch. This is where the magic happens. Fuck them. I'm taking over. It's an emergency broadcast system brought to you by a real nigga with a joint and a blunt just in case I want to light one up, and I got something to drink at the motherfucking podium. This is the same podium right here. You know this podium? You ever seen this podium? This is the same podium that Bill Clinton got his dick sucked by Monica Lewinsky at. Remember that? You remember when Bill Clinton, the American president, sat there and said he did not have any sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky, even though he got his penis sucked by that woman and then came all over her dress? This is the same fucking podium. Anyway, I'm in this bitch now. I'm in this bitch. And since we're talking about presidential shit, can I get somebody put hashtag presidential shit? Man, hold on. I feel like listening to some music. I want to get a copyright strike. Man, I don't know. I just feel like listening to some Tupac. Hold on. I don't know why. Y'all ready for this shit, man? Hashtag presidential shit. I don't know why I want to listen to Tupac, but this has nothing to do with... Oh, no, I know what I should listen to. Y'all ever heard this song by Tupac?
Dear Mr. President, what's happening? I'm writing you because shit is still real fucked up in my neighborhood. Pretty much the same way right around the time when you got elected. Ain't nothing changed. All the promises you made before you got elected.
Tell me what to do. These niggas acting up in the hood. Send more troops to you, Mr. President.
Me and my homies just wonder what's going on.
Holla. Once that I lied when I could traumatize. Niggas fell victim to my lyrics, now traumatized. Simply by spitting, I've been blessed, giving bitches. Enemies, suspicious, cause I'm seldom in the company of bitches. Plus the concepts I be kick. So visual that you can kiss each and every trick or bitch. Inside the shit I kick. My heaviest verbs to move a mountain, casualties and mass amounts. Brothers keep counting fucking friendships, I ride alone. Destination death row, probably found a home. Plus all my homies wanna die, call it euthanasia. Dear Lord, look how sick this ghetto made us. Sincerely, the doors on the dub. The product of a broken home, everybody's doped up. Nigga, what you smoking on? Figure if we hide, it can chain us. But then America fucked up and blamed us. I guess it's cause we black got the target. My only fear is gone. I speak that hard shit. In case you don't know, I let my pump go. You ride from a Tulu like I ride for Geronimo. Down the job for everything I represent. Every word in my letter to the president. Dear Mr. President, tell me what to do. These niggas acting up in the hood, send more troops. Dear Mr. President, tell me what to do. These niggas acting up in the hood, send more troops. All in the White House. I hope you're comfortable, cause show I spend my nights out. With the lights out, and the safety of darkness. Amongst the praise and the hardest, and I'm so broke. Ready to understand that hard shit. Even niggas slap and scratch regardless. I gotta get you, but you can't understand that. Want a band rap, stand back before you get hurt. It's the only thing they can pay today besides something work. On the mission, listen, must be my global position. First with my decision, I realize I say living. Tripping to drop the message, trying to get stacks and cheddar. Motherfuckers say cops wait, it ain't getting better. But keep telling us that it is. Why your motherfucking troops keep killing our kids? Big. Don't be surprised if you see us. Double with nothing but artillery to free us. Motherfucker.
Damn, Mr. President, tell us what to do. These niggas sacking up in the hood, send more troops. Damn, Mr. President, tell me what to do. These niggas sacking up in the hood, send more troops. Strapped and angry with no hope and heart.
Anyway. I can't get too carried away, but I did bring that up for a reason. Dear Mr. President, let's name it Dear Mr. Motherfucking President. Let's name this next segment Dear Mr. Motherfucking President.
Senator Tim Scott said last night that America is not a racist country. Do you agree with that? And what do you make of his warning against fighting discrimination with more discrimination?
I believe that we need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country and its existence today. And I applaud the president for always having the ability and the courage, frankly, to speak the truth about it. He spoke what we know from the intelligence community. One of the greatest threats to our national security is domestic terrorism manifested by white supremacists. And so these are issues that we must confront. And it does not help to heal our country, to unify us as a people, to ignore the realities of that. And I think the president has been outstanding and a real national leader on the issue of saying, let's confront the realities and let's deal with it, knowing we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And the idea is that we want to unify the country, but not without speaking truth and requiring accountability as appropriate.
So here is your vice president that everybody voted for, and this is Black woman, Kamala Harris. Now, why am I bringing this up? Mrs. Kamala Harris. Mrs. Kamala Harris is the same woman that says she's not going to do anything specifically for Black people, but she's part of the cabinet that the first day in office, they did something for the transgenders. They're doing something for the Asians. We've already talked about it, how they've given billions upon billions of dollars to the Asian community in particular. Why is this important? Because this is the same woman, she said she cannot do anything for Black people in particular, but she did something in particular for Asian, in particular for transgender. And now here she is, most recently, backing up another House Negro. Some other House Negro came out saying America is not a racist country. Then they asked so-called Vice President Harris to say, well, do you believe that America is a racist country? I'm going to play it again. I need you to listen to this. She says it's not a racist country, but it has a racist history and it's racist currently. We got a lot of racism currently and a lot of racism in the history, but it's not racist though. So you tell me, how the fuck do you have something that has a history and a foundation based off of racism? It never stopped the racism, and it still continues to practice the racism today, but you can come out with a straight motherfucking face and say there is no racism. This is not a racist nation. Okay, so if America was a person, let's do that. If America was a person with a racist history, a racist foundation, a racist beginning, it never stopped its racism, and it still continues its racism today. And if it was a person, would that not be a racist person? So how the fuck are you sitting here telling us that America is not a racist place?
Senator Tim Scott said last night that America is not a racist country. Do you agree with that? And what do you make of his warning against fighting discrimination with more discrimination?
I believe that we need to address, well, first of all, no, I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country and its existence today. And I applaud the president for always having the ability and the courage, frankly, to speak the truth about it. He spoke what we know from the intelligence community. One of the greatest threats to our national security is domestic terrorism manifested by white supremacists. And so these are issues that we must confront. And it does not help to heal our country, to unify us as a people, to ignore the realities of that. And I think the president has been outstanding and a real national leader on the issue of saying, let's confront the realities and let's deal with it, knowing we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And the idea is that we want to unify the country, but not without speaking truth and requiring accountability as appropriate.
So blah, 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 a bunch of politician talk. As you can see, there's no love in her eyes. There's no compassion in her eyes. There's no pain in her eyes. There's no courage in her eyes. She's just talking, giving you blank speech after blank speech that nobody can feel in their spirit. She thinks she can convince us with her witchcraft and her sorcery. But this is the same woman that sat up there and condescendingly said, hell no, I can't do anything just for Black Americans. Go look that footage up. I'm not even going to play it. She said, no, I'm not going to do anything just for Black people. But she does everything for everybody else. And then she sat around and said, America has a racist history and a racist past and a racist currently, but it's not racist. Okay. But does anybody know who this woman is? Amanda Seals? Has anybody ever seen this woman? Bryce, I know you've heard of this woman, Amanda Seals, right? KJ, I know you've heard of her. Some people have heard of her. I know certain people. Super user, I know you know who Amanda Seals is. Some people who really tuned in, I know you guys know who this person is. Amanda Seals. Somebody put that in. Hashtag Amanda Seals. I might as well make a Amanda Seals pack too. Smoke a little Amanda Seals while I'm at it. Somebody put Amanda Seals in the chat. Anybody know who that is? Amanda Seals. She used to be on MTV or some other shit. And now she feels like she's something in the culture and she's always doing some cringy, stupid shit. This is the same woman who blamed the black man. I don't know too much. I'm not going to go too much into it, but she supposedly blamed the black man for some sexual thing he didn't do and all kind of crazy shit. Amanda Seals. Can somebody put that in the chat? Amanda Seals. Yeah, okay. Y'all can look up Amanda Seals. This is Amanda Seals. I'm going to show you most recently. How about that? I'm going to lean into it. This is Amanda Seals' reaction to Kamala Harris saying this is not a racist country. Watch this woman, Amanda Seals, as she reacts to Kamala Harris saying this is not a racist country. I'm bringing all this up for a reason. Watch this.
I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country and its existence today.
Okay, so everybody on some bullshit. Cool. That was dumb and embarrassing. And she embarrassed everybody who has supported her.
Pay attention to that. Pay attention to how bothered this woman is, Amanda Seals. I'm going to bring the receipt out. I am the receipt king. Pay attention to how bothered this woman, Amanda Seals, is that Kamala Harris said this is not a racist country. Because remember, Amanda Seals be trying to talk about racism and all this other shit. But Amanda Seals was also a big Harris Biden supporter. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but watch her one more time. She said Kamala Harris embarrassed all of her supporters, guys. Can somebody put a clap in the chat? I'm going to read the chat. Put your favorite applause because the House Negroes are admitting that they are embarrassed. Put your favorite emoji in the chat. The House Negroes, listen, y'all. This woman, Amanda, and I'm going to bring the receipt out and it's all going to make sense. You're really going to clap. But this woman is mad, biting her chips all mad. Biting her chips all fucking mad because she's embarrassed that her president that she loves and the vice president that she voted for, the first woman, the first black woman and all this other shit, embarrassed her. Listen.
I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country and its existence today.
Okay, so everybody on some bullshit. Cool. That was dumb and embarrassing. And she embarrassed everybody who has supported her.
Notice how mad she was. She said that was dumb and embarrassing, and she embarrassed everybody that supported her. And then she zoomed into her own face. She said she wouldn't be that mad if she didn't support her. The reason why she's that mad is because, damn, I openly supported you, and now here you are just disregarding us. So even some of these House Negroes are starting to have their Negro wake-up call. Can we understand that? Some of these House Negroes that made the wrong decision, they're saying, damn, I'm fucking embarrassed. Listen to this.
I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country and its existence today.
Okay, so everybody on some bullshit. Cool. That was dumb and embarrassing. And she embarrassed everybody who has supported her.
Okay, now press 7 if you're ready for me to put the pack on Amanda Seales. If you're ready for me to do pack in the air, is this gas or what? Hold on, fuck it. Amanda Seales, because Amanda Seales been doing a lot of bullshit lately. And Amanda Seales was on that show, The Real. I could bring the receipt up, but that would take too long. I have some receipts on you, Amanda Seales. I have some real receipts on you, Amanda Seales, and I'm not even going to bring them out. But Amanda Seales, here we go. What's this man's name? What's the Amanda Seales? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Amanda. Come on, come on. Amanda Seales. Does anybody come on? I need this internet to start working for me. Oh shit. Oh fuck. No, hold on, y'all. Amanda Seales. I'm coming for you, Amanda Seales. I want to play this receipt. Please don't leave, guys. But I have to play this for Amanda because it's like a ritual, like. Amanda Seales.
Niggas tell my motherfucker can't use no tone like motherfucking Lil Mo Grady, niggas straight hoes. Niggas know what's up with us, man. Till we don't be out here, nigga. And I get shit done, boy. Your ass tripping. Niggas call me blooders just like T out here. Let's get it. I be calling phone the phone, say I don't be out here. Catch him, knock his noodles back. Just don't tweak out here. Phone no sliding, late night hunting, ain't no sleep out here. 2 days back to back, there's 50 racks to be out here. Can't have no Fifi on your block as long as Steve out here. Can't try to slide inside a fishbowl, you got beef out here. Low key wanna get you out the way, they say you're chief out here. Niggas hold, they tuck their tails cause they be scared. And that Hellcat on the E-way off the me. Say his name inside this song, my bros, I bet I see it. Niggas low key want that smoke you do, you bet I see it. Get your ass back in that house, we got FN99s. My credit so A1 with killers, I be paying my fines. I be on my dick in songs, but I don't pay no mind. All them hoes that be with the odds gang, they broke they spine. All the crackers get robbed for they shit, they bad back. I keep my Glock and her Chanel, that shit cost 5 racks. All these hoes be going for real, low key just bound X. He got shot up in this shit out here, he tryna flex. Never cared so much, ran out of wood, just past the Dutch. Your homies die, you'll never slide, it ain't adding up. Get caught with a pipe, you out same night, you fed or what? New op pack in the air, this gas or what? He'll still be alive right now if you niggas ain't gas him up. Give my shorty stimulus and guns, I tell them slide for nothing. Everybody with this gang ain't shit, so they ain't down for nothing. If she don't fuck on the first night, off the rip, I ain't bound to nothing. If I ain't got time for loving my kids, then I ain't got time for nothing. Then I slide home to my bitch, that mean no time.
You hear what he said? If I ain't got time for loving my kids, then I ain't got time for nothing. You got to make time for loving your kids too. You hear that? Shout out to Young Dirt or Lil Dirt, whatever the fuck. You got to make time to love your kids as well. You got to make time to love your kids. In the midst of making niggas into a pack, you got to make time to love your kids. You hear that? He said, if I ain't got time for loving my kids, then I ain't got time for nothing. You hear that? That's a bar right there. Hold on, Dirk. That might be a bar right there. You gonna run that back or not?
Fuck on the first night, off the rip, I ain't bound to nothing. If I ain't got time for loving my kids, then I ain't got time for nothing. Then I slide home to my bitch, that mean no time for cutting. Why these niggas think they safe? Cause they locked in. Man, we thought this shit was over since some shots. You think you safe when you at out west, little nigga just popped in. I know some killers from out west, they keep them Glocks in. Knowing they killer on the loose, it throw my vibe off. You like they candles on that main street, watch that side. You ever stood up over?
All right. Now I'm getting distracted. The reason why I made all of that is for a pack for Amanda Seales. Look at this woman.
I'm just so proud of us. I'm so proud of Black people. I was so scared. It's just like coming over me now, like the immensity of what's taking place, and that like it was like Philly and Milwaukee and Detroit. We have so many people to thank. We have so much work to do. But congratulations to all of us, like in a very like real way. I feel like we dispelled doom. You know, this is like, it's like we're cheering on Endor. after they blew up the Death Star. Like, that's what this feels like. This is the Game of Thrones finale we were supposed to have.
She says we dispelled doom. Now, mind you, that was a video. You might ask, why was she crying? What was she talking about? Let me change this background because I feel like that one's kind of distracting. It's not too calming. Let's take it to the ancient Mayan realm. No, we're not going to take it to the ancient Mayan realm yet. We're going to take it to the ancient Mayan realm before we leave. Let's go to Vegas. We'll go to Vegas. Okay. So this is why I bring out Amanda Seales, and I did that whole dance to turn her into a pack. Because Amanda Seales, the day that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won, she was crying, talking about freedom at last. We're finally free. She's so happy of black people. We got Joe Biden and Kamala Harris into office. Watch this woman looking stupid with the ugly cry. And I know ugly cries because I'm an ugly crier. She got the ugly cry, the ugly face, because she feels like we hashtag dispel doom. We dispelled the doom, and then we brought new massa in. Can somebody put that in the chat? We got rid of old master and we got new massa. New massa got me feeling freedom at last. Lord Almighty, I'm freedom at last.
I'm just so proud of us. I'm so proud of black people. I was so scared. It's just like coming over me now, like the immensity of what's taking place, and that like it was like Philly and Milwaukee and Detroit. We have so many people to thank. We have so much work to do. But congratulations to all of us, like in a very like real way. I feel like we dispelled doom. You know, this is like, it's like we're cheering on Endor after they blew up the Death Star. Like, that's what this feels like. This is the Game of Thrones finale we were supposed to have.
A side note, this is where I'm going to take my side note, and I didn't know how I was going to introduce this into the chat, but since we're talking about Amanda Seales looking pathetic, did you see her looking pathetic? And now it makes more sense why she's upset, eating her chips all mad, right? I'm going to play that video again. Now that you see how she was crying and happy that Kamala Harris won on the night that she won, look how she looks now.
I don't think America is a racist country, but we also do have to speak truth about the history of racism in our country and its existence today.
Okay, so everybody on some bullshit. Cool. That was dumb and embarrassing. And she embarrassed everybody who has supported her.
But hey, Amanda, if you're watching this, I'll give it to you. It was dumb and embarrassing, and I'm glad you could at least shout it out. That's more than some of the fucking Trump supporters can do. Some of these Trump supporters who know that Trump also does dumb and embarrassing shit, they still make excuses for him. At least, at the very least, I'm going to give Amanda Seales the fucking credit for saying for admitting that she's embarrassed for who she supported. She's embarrassed for who she supported because why? She cried the day of. And on a side note, I would love to see this woman talk to Kevin Samuels. On a side note, shout out to Kevin Samuels. I have to say it. Yeah, I have to say it. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. Everybody knows he's on the topic of everybody's discussion. We have to have the discussion. I've been on it to 70,000 subscribers. Last night, he made 800,000 subscribers. Shout out to that black man. I'm going to say it again. I've been subscribed to Kevin Samuels since he had 70,000 subscribers. Now he's at 800,000 plus. He's about to be at 1 million subscribers in less than 4 months because of his conversation, his straight persistence. Shout out to that man, Kevin Samuels. Always been on it. Until further notice, I'm rocking with him. And I want to address something real quick since I'm talking about Kevin Samuels. I don't even know if you guys still don't even know who Kevin Samuels is. I don't have time to explain him. Go find who he is. But a lot of people have been talking about he might be gay and all this other shit. I want to give you perspective from a black woman talking about Kevin Samuels. This is a black woman who I've had on my channel, my previous channel before it got taken down. Her name is ZZ. Shout out to ZZ. Go follow her at A to Z TV. ZZ is doing big. I'm telling you right now. I interviewed her at 4,000 subscribers. She had 4,000 subscribers when I interviewed her. If you look today, she has almost 16,000 subscribers. So she's on the way to 100,000. You know, it ain't nothing for us to start going viral. You know, all we got to do is start sharing our shit and really supporting our shit, and we can pop off. That's why YouTube got rid of my last channel, because although they were trying to shadow ban me, my shit was still there and still persistent. I still was cracking the algorithms. But since we're talking about Kevin Samuels, before I move forward, let me give you the perspective of a black woman about attacking Kevin Samuels and attacking other black men who are out here speaking truth. Because honestly, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is this. Black men, it is time for black men to finally speak their piece. I need to say this, and I don't care. I haven't even checked how many people in the chat, but if you know who Kevin Samuels is, you need to go watch his shit, and then you need to go see all the people who are mad at his shit. And it gets deeper than this. You need to understand it's a spiritual warfare, because when you bring out truth, you're going to be attacked. It doesn't matter your name. When you come in the name of truth, you will be attacked. And I got a 7 in the chat. So now they calling this man gay and trying to discredit this man, slander this man, and all time to destroy this man's reputation. But what they can't do is actually sit there and have a conversation and say what he's saying is wrong. That's what you need to understand. We need to get to a place in 2021 and moving forward where we're more concerned with the truth than anything else. Fuck what somebody's doing in their personal life. The truth is what matters. If the person is bringing out the truth, if you're attacking them, you're attacking the truth. So now you got everybody pulling up this man's high school pictures. This man is 52 years old. Started his shit from the ground up, and he has almost 1 million subscribers off of his hard sweat, blood, sweat, and tears. And you got people calling him gay and pulling up pictures from when he was in high school. Have you not seen your parents' pictures when they were in high school? I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to show something real quick just to stop everything. Just to stop all the rumors about Kevin, because I rock with that nigga. I rock with Kevin Samuels. Let's look up Ice Cube's high school picture. Ice Cube, go look that up right now. Ice Cube high school picture. This was Ice Cube in high school. Can somebody put a 7 in the chat? This was Ice Cube in high school. Press 7. Look at the collar. Look at the collar. Look at the jerry curl. Look at the zesty look on his face. This was Ice Cube in high school. The Ice, yay. Can I get a 7 in the chat? So you have to understand styles were different. Niggas trying to pull up old pictures to discredit somebody because they had a jerry curl, because they were wearing a flamingo Hawaiian shirt with the shirt opened up with they show the chest hair. As you see with my friend Ice Cube, I love you, Ice Cube, niggas was showing chest hairs. Bryce Hall says, yeah, LA was on some crazy, wild, androgynous shit back in the 80s. Have you ever seen, no, I'm going to bring it back to you. Fuck that. Hold on. Y'all really I'm about to blow your mind. And I might get another copyright strike. You know, that's why I got my shit taken down, because I just be getting copyright strikes. But have y'all ever seen this though? Hold on. I'm gonna blow your mind. Let me find this video. Look at this shit. Tell me this is not some weird ass shit.
place I'd rather be than with you. Yeah.
Come on, man. It was a style. And you're going to bring up those old-ass pictures to discredit and try to gossip and kiki and ha-ha about a nigga, as opposed to trying to get to the bottom and the root of the matter of what that man is bringing. He has evolved past that, obviously, and trying to bring a real conversation to heal the black community, because we need healing. And if you are not willing to admit that we as a community need healing, then you are part of the problem. I'm going to say that one more time. I need a 7. I'm going to move forward. If you are not willing to admit that we need healing as a collective, then you are part of the problem. So I'm going to play this black woman who agrees with Kevin Samuels, and she's telling black women, she's holding black women accountable for attacking this man. Shout out to ZZ.
What's good, y'all? Look, let me just make this quick video right quick. I keep seeing people trying to drag Kevin Samuels. The nigga not gay. Even if he is, who the fuck cares? Most of y'all are just trying to deflect from the actual truth that the man is pointing out. Black women, you're out of order and you're off code trying to drag this black man. Why don't we talk about the masculine behaviors we practice? Why don't we talk about our contribution to emasculating our men? Why don't we talk about us being overweight but undermarried? Oh, you quiet now, huh? But you got so much to say about this man. Shut the hell up.
I mean, that's the homie ZZ, so she just be letting you know how it is. And that's why I told ZZ she's so powerful, because she's a woman. She's not overweight. She's not ugly. She's not out of date. She's not old. She's not corny. So you can't say nothing about her. And she's holding black women accountable. Go follow her on Instagram, A to Z TV. Go follow her. I had her on my last interview, and guess what? We're going to have another interview. I already know ZZ is the homie. Like, I can have her on the interview anytime. That's the homie. Hey, Z, shout out. You about to make 100K. Fuck what they talking about. Man, listen. Let me move forward. Y'all know DMX died, right? Did y'all see DMX funeral? Did y'all see DMX funeral? Hold on. Who's in the chat? Super user, did you see DMX's funeral? Aramoy, please go press the thumbs up button. What up, Aramoy 777? Go, please. I hope you subscribed, and please go press the thumbs up button. Love and blessings. God bless. I love when new people come in the chat. Please, blessings. And they deleted my last channel, y'all. I'm still salty. Yeah, KJ, these niggas are zesty in the face. Where's your comment? Yeah, they zesty in the face. It's real zesty in the face. Real zesty in the face. What y'all know about DMX, his funeral? I heard he died. You didn't know DMX had a memorial service and all that? Y'all didn't see that? Okay, anyway, DMX died allegedly, and then he had a funeral. I mean, I'm saying all this because I pulled out receipts of DMX listening to the Israelites less than 3 weeks before he died. Y'all can go watch that video. I'll pull out the receipt of DMX. He was listening to the Israelites teach in the camp in Atlanta for over an hour, and I was watching it live. Shout out to the House of Israel, Chief Ephraim, Brother Zabak. The Israelite brothers out there were talking to DMX less than 3 weeks before he died, but allegedly DMX died of a drug overdose. Yeah, you can go look into it. He had a whole memorial service at the Barclays Center. Kanye West was performing. Swiss Beats was there. Everybody was at DMX funeral, but look at this about DMX. KJ, I know you're going to like this. Watch this. I'm not gonna lie, that sound is oddly satisfying. Have you ever listened to YouTube or go on Instagram and put oddly satisfying? For some reason, they have certain sounds that are just weirdly satisfying. I feel like I can listen to that sound all night of just I can listen to that shit all night. But this is the question, y'all. I asked this shit on Instagram. I put the comment and a lot of people liked it. A lot of people were like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why is it a bunch of red people driving DMX's hearse? Because essentially, forget the fact. Okay, listen, guys, hold on. Let me change the background. Excuse me. Let me change the background. Let me go to, fuck that. Let me just go to all white so you can listen to me. I need y'all to listen to me. Essentially, forget everything. Pretend like it's all white, just like this room. Forget the motorcycles and all the noise. Forget the fact that it's daytime and very bright. Forget all the people. Just think about the fact that this is a funeral for DMX, allegedly. This is the hearse of DMX. If you don't know what a hearse is, please go look up the hearse. When you have a funeral, they have your casket in a car that drives through the street and everybody follows it. It's called the hearse. This is essentially DMX's hearse, even though it's a big ass monster truck. It's a hearse. Why do they have only red men driving the hearse? I'm going to ask you one more time. Why do they have only, it's not like it's just one red man, two red men, three red men in the car. There's no brown people in the hearse of DMX when he has fucking 13 black children. Can somebody press hashtag 13 black children? DMX has at least 13 melanated children that could have been in that hearse with him, but they have nothing but red men hanging out of the window of that hearse. Red men hanging out of the window of the hearse, taking pictures, doing all this unnecessary stuff, trying to get publicity for themselves, gaining the glory for themselves, absorbing the energy that DMX is supposed to be getting. These red men are absorbing the energy, hanging out of the hearse. And my question is, did DMX want a bunch of red men hanging out of his hearse? It's exactly like Aaron Moore says, energy vampires. That's exactly what they are. It's exactly what they are. I've gone into it before. I've gone into the definition of black. I've gone into the definition of white. Again, guys, I've gone into the definition of black. I've gone into the definition of white. I don't have time to do it today because we're going on our final hour. But the definition of black is either the darkest shade due to either the absence of light or the complete absorption of light. So if you're saying a person, place, or thing is black, you are saying that person, place, or thing either is void of light, has no light, or is absorbed with light. completely absorbed with light. If you are saying you are black, you can rightfully and scientifically, by definition, say that you are absorbed with light. What is light? Light is information. Light is God. Light is righteousness. However, if you are white, if you look into the definition of white, white means reflection. Reflection of the visible wavelengths of light. That's a whole nother conversation. So when we talk about energy vampires, these energy vampires who have labeled themselves white, but when you look into the definition of white on Google, go Google the definition of white, you will see that the definition is the reflection. Listen, the definition of white is this, and I'm going to tell you very strictly, and I want you to challenge me. The definition of white is the image made due to the reflection of the visible wavelengths of light. Therefore, if a person, place, or thing is called white, it is merely a reflection of light. It possesses no light of its own. On the contrary, if you can call yourself black, you can say, because I am absorbed with light. Black, the definition of black means absorbed with light. I am contained with light. I contain the light. I am filled with light. The definition of white is a reflection of light. They have to orbit us. They have to stay near us. They have to drain us. They have to become, quote unquote, energy vampires and steal our energy. This energy that these people are giving towards this melanated, so-called black absorbed with light man, these red people are hanging out the car and absorbing it for themselves. And you're watching it in real time. So you see how these people are out here. I just thought that was interesting, YouTube. Again, YouTube, please don't take this video down, YouTube. Did I remind you, YouTube? I don't know if I told you this, guys, but the federal law allows citizens such as myself to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and or parody, which doesn't infringe on the copyright under 17 USC 107. I just needed to let that be known for YouTube. By the way, guys, if you would like to contribute to me, you can join my PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, particularly my Patreon. And I know I keep on saying that. I know I sound like a salesman, but I have to say it because they took my first channel down so they could take this channel down. The Patreon is where I'm just going to be able to upload all my stuff. It takes $3. I need you guys to join with me so we can build something further than this YouTube. They're going to eventually take us all off YouTube. I want to be able to bring you this stuff. Remember that the Tuskegee experiment, like for instance, I want to be able to bring you the information, like for instance, the Tuskegee experiment, which they call the Tuskegee study nowadays, ended in 1972 and was conducted by the Center for Disease Control. Can you see those blue letters at the bottom? Do you guys see those blue letters at the bottom? Life of Leanne, do you see at the blue letters at the bottom says the Center for Disease Control and Prevention is the same people who did this experiment on us? These are the same people that nowadays are telling us to get injected. Okay, let's move forward.
Famed Olympic gold medalist Caitlin Jenner is now entering a new race for the governor of California.
I've always been a dreamer. California was once the envy of the world. We had what everyone else wanted. The American dream grew up here. Yet career politicians and their policies have destroyed that dream. It's been locked away, closed, shuttered, left in the dark, burned down. The government is now involved in every part of our lives. They've taken our money, our jobs, and our freedom. California needs a disruptor, a compassionate disruptor. I came here with a dream 48 years ago to be the greatest athlete in the world. Now I enter a different kind of race, arguably my most important one yet, to save California. I want to carry the torch for the parents who had to balance work and their child's education, for business owners who were forced to shut down, for pastors who were not able to be with their congregation, for the family who lost their home in a fire, for an entire generation of students who lost a year of education. This past year has redefined our career politicians as elitists and the people of California as the warriors, the kings, and the angels. We never take kindly to glass ceilings here. Instead, we shatter them. This one's way out there. We're the trailblazers, the innovators. California is facing big hurdles. Now, we need leaders who are unafraid to leap to new heights. He does not want to finish second in this race. He wants the world record. Who are unafraid to challenge and to change the status quo. I want to prove that it is absolutely possible if we only do it together. California, it's time to reopen our schools, reopen our businesses, reopen the Golden Gates. So I don't care if you're a Republican, Democrat, I'm running to be governor for all Californians. To reclaim our true identity, to bring back the gold to the Golden State. What a tremendous victory! Now is the time to achieve that summit, to be the shining city on the hill, and together we'll restore and renew the California dream. It's about what happens from here. It's not just about one person. It's about all of us.
So as you see, I'm on Sesame Street, on Skid Row on Sesame Street. For whatever reason, I'm just here for no reason. Skid Row, Sesame Street. Who knew? Who knew Sesame Street had a Skid Row with homeless people in the back? Look, we got homeless people in the back. It is what it is. So here we have Caitlyn Jenner, as if the American Babylonian red system is not broken in a joke already. We have Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, the American gold medal winner, running as the governor. I just want to show you guys. I'm not even going to say anything much more. But somebody said he could at least try to sound like a woman. Maybe he doesn't bother because everybody knows anyway. Who knows? I'm not judging that, man. God bless Bruce Jenner. Can we say that? God bless. May the Most High God give understanding to Bruce Jenner, to that same person who won the gold medal Olympic. I don't know what to say. Can we look at this real quick? YouTube, I'm just giving this for fair use. Can I just say that? Have you guys seen this picture right here? Pride is for kids too. Empowering families with gender non-conforming children as transgender youth. The Gender and Family Project. So you see here what's going on with you see at the bottom image what's going on. But the reason, remember, the whole point of this live stream is called, what is this live stream called, guys? Can somebody put in the chat for me? Can somebody put in the chat real quick, what is this live stream called? Because all of this is part of what I'm talking about. If you don't understand what's happening, hold on, let me put the lights on. God damn, why did I not have my lights on? I'm tripping. I forgot I have my lights. I need to be more professional. In the year 2020, I spilled my drink. In the year 2021 and moving forward, I got to be more professional. I have lights. I have a green screen. I need to be professional because this is what I believe in. This is what I'm investing in. Fuck it if YouTube deletes me and I start over from scratch. Did you see this picture? It's called Exodus. Solo Dolo, thank you for staying with me. This thing is called Exodus. You know why? Do you know why this thing is called Exodus? Because look at the bottom picture, guys. Do you notice anything particular about the bottom picture? Solo Dolo particularly. Look at the bottom picture and what's the first thing that you notice at the bottom picture, Solo Dolo? What's the first thing that you notice? And then tell me what's the second thing that you notice. How about that? Everybody that's listening in the chat, look at the bottom picture. Forget the top picture. Look at the bottom picture. Tell me the first thing that you notice and then the second thing that you notice. Everybody that's under the sound of my voice, I need you to put the first thing that you notice about that bottom picture, and then I need you to put the second thing that you notice about that bottom picture. Solo Dodo says the first thing he noticed is dude kissing. Well, that's what Solo Dodo says. What's the second thing y'all see? Do y'all see anything else in that picture? Anything else that might have to do with Exodus? Do you see anything else that might have to do with the Exodus movement of Yah's people? The first thing is obviously what Solo Dolo says. Life of Leanne says there's that. Solo Dolo says there's that. Nobody else understands why I'm bringing out this picture. Look closer. Look closer. Look closer. Exodus. Movement of Yah's people. Yah's people must move. Remember, Moses wasn't a racist when he said, let my people go. Moses wasn't a racist when he said, let my people go. Moses told the Pharaoh, let my people go. That was a bloodline. That was a lineage. That was a race of people. Movement of Yah's people. Exodus, movement of Yah people. Because guess what? When you're black, so-called black, melanated, absorbed with light, You stick out like a sore thumb, you stupid mother raka. When you are absorbed with light, you stick out like a big red spot on a bright white shirt. You look like, remember that song, I got a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt? Can somebody put that? Y'all ever heard that song? I got a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt.
I'll never forget, I had a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt. She was killing me in that mini skirt, skipping rocks on the river by the railroad tracks. She had a suntan.
Anyway, it's a song, it's a country song called I Got a Barbecue Stain on My White T-Shirt. And that's what this nigga looks like sitting in this crowd with these motherfucking heathens clapping while all this debauchery is going on. You look like a barbecue stain on a white t-shirt. You sticking out like a barbecue stain on a fresh white shirt. Imagine you got a fresh white shirt, all of a sudden you get a barbecue stain on that bitch. You drop some barbecue on that brand new fresh white shirt. You gonna see that immediately. That's what this nigga looks like. A barbecue stain on a white t-shirt, nigga. Clapping for the debauchery. Can somebody say it? He's over here clapping for the debauchery. He's clapping for his own demise. Why is he there? He's completely, why is he there? Look, we're ending on our final hour, y'all. We're about to be on our final hour. I'm gonna bring out a couple last receipts. Peace to everybody in the chat. Solo Dolo, this man is clapping for debauchery. And look at his face. He's almost like, I don't know if I should clap, but he's one of those niggas that just wants to go along to get along. You ever heard about that? You ever heard about the niggas that just go along to get along? You got to watch out for them niggas. Somebody put that in the chat. Them go along to get along niggas who know some shit ain't right in the core, in the pit of their spirit, but they just want to get along, so they go along to get along. Look at him clapping. It's ridiculous. Let's move forward. Let's move forward because I got a few more receipts for y'all. Fuck it. I got a few more receipts. And YouTube, what else do you want from me, YouTube? You want me to shut up? I can't do it, YouTube. I can't stop. I'm over here on Skid Row on Sesame Street. You see where you put me, YouTube? Look, this is my tent. Just so you know, guys, I made my own little tent on Sesame Street right here, right next to Oscar the Grouch. I'm chilling. YouTube still fucking with me. Goddamn. Let me give a shout out to my man Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews. I don't know if y'all know who that is. There's a fellow YouTuber by the name of Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. He has a lot of subscribers. Please go follow him on YouTube. He's doing big numbers. Black man speaking black perspective, unapologetic black man perspective. This is what I'm talking about. Kevin Samuels. I'm talking about Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I give shout outs to other black male YouTubers. This is another reason you know I'm not an agent, because I give shout outs to other black men who seem to be on code. I don't know if you know about Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, but if you go on YouTube and look up Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, he has a lot of views. And I called into his live stream yesterday and I talked to that man, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. And let's watch real quick. Let's watch how I dropped the receipts, because you know your boy J-LEETHAL is the receipt king. I brought some receipts to the main man, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Please go subscribe to that man. But watch this shit. This was yesterday, y'all. Watch this.
Guys, I don't have much time, but we'll get this conversation started, re-upped again. J-LEETHAL, what's good, my G?
What's good, brother? Can you hear me?
You fixed the mic. I appreciate that. What's good, brother?
I did, man. I want to start off by telling you, man, I appreciate your content. I've been following you for maybe 2-3 months, and I'm full support, brother.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. But J-LEETHAL, do you have a disagreement with me, brother?
It was more so I just wanted to kind of say this, and I hate to be like one of the people on Kevin Samuels who kind of doesn't have the disagreement, but I really just wanted to let it be known for the audience, like, what are we? JT is the same woman, right, who said, and forgive my language, I'm not even going to curse on your channel, but she said she's only effing on a rich ass, scamming ass N-word. So, so this is the same woman who says she's only having sex with a man who scams. Now, when you look into the definition of scam, that means to lie and to steal. So we have to really, like you said, context is important. When we're listening to these celebrities or whoever's saying something, we have to look at the whole character of a person. Yes, she has a big platform, but essentially she's saying, I only have sex with men who lie and steal. So therefore, us general average men, and I'm fine with calling myself average. I don't look at that as a diss to myself or anyone else. I'm average. I'm the average man. Fine. But as the average man, I've decided that I'm not going to put myself in a predicament to possibly risk my freedom or risk my safety so that I can be a rich ass, scamming ass N-word, just so that JT and her friends will decide that she wants to have sex with me this week. Because essentially that's essentially what it is. It's not even like if you're a rich ass, scamming ass N-word, she's going to exclusively give you her vagina. She's only going to add you to her list of men she's having sex with, because when you listen to more of JT's music, she's talking about how she has sex with multiple men. Also, before I leave, JT is the same woman who rapped in a different song about proudly having an abortion. And I forgive me for saying that word, but yes, she says, this N-word's acting crazy. I'm going to get rid of his baby. And y'all can look up JT's lyrics for that. Yes, she did proudly rap about getting an abortion and only having sex with men who steal and lie. So I just wanted to say, yes, this is the woman that we're talking about. And that's kind of all I had to say.
J-LEETHAL!
Hey, brother, just so you know, YouTube just took my channel down after 5 years on YouTube. I've been on YouTube as a YouTuber for 5 years, been shadow banned and everything. YouTube just took my channel down, but hey, it's all good. I'm back on the second channel, and much love to you. Black content creators, black men, it's time for us to stand up.
Time for us to stand up. J-LEETHAL, thank you so much for coming through, and I appreciate those bars, my G. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
All right, guys, listen. I think that's an appropriate way to end today's stream. He was saying things in there that even I didn't know, but I appreciate the information that he shared. I didn't know that she was talking about getting rid of babies and this, that, and the third. I think that it's gross. I think that it's disgusting. I think that it's gross. I think that it's disgusting. And at the end of the day, if that's not no shit that don't need an apology, then I don't know what is. If that's not no shit that don't need no apology, then I don't know what is.
So shout out to my boy Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, who, again, I've been strategically making these moves. I've been letting you know since the beginning. I've been strategically making moves with fellow content creators on YouTube so that even if they try to disrupt me, even if they try to delete me, these other YouTube content creators, I've been on large platforms. I've talked to Tariq Nasheed live. I've talked to a lot of people live. I feel like I belong in the same circles, but they're trying to keep me out of it. This is why I need y'all to constantly support me, because they're trying to keep me out of certain circles. But it's okay. I just want God's word to be out. That's what I'm here for. Let me play these last few videos and I'm out. I promise. Stick with me these last few videos and I'm out. Have y'all seen the new Dr. Umar video? Dr. Umar was on The Breakfast Club. I don't know if y'all saw that. I'm probably not going to play the whole thing because it's kind of long. But let me play this quick little clip of Dr. Umar. If you don't know who Dr. Umar is, go look into him. His name is Dr. Umar Johnson. A lot of people make fun of him and try to say he's fake woke and all this shit. But he went on The Breakfast Club, which is the #1 black radio station in America, with Charlemagne the God, DJ Envy, and whatever. And his video is at like almost 3 million views in less than 2 weeks. Dr. Umar shut it down on The Breakfast Club. The same day my channel got taken down is the day that Dr. Umar came on and shut it down on The Breakfast Club, and he gave me the inspiration to keep going. Let me play this quick little clip of Dr. Umar going in. If you don't know who Dr. Umar is, shout out to that brother. Again, shout out to Kevin Samuels. Shout out to listen, Robert, I don't know if you're still here, but if I'm an agent, shout out to Kevin Samuels. Shout out to Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. Shout out to ZZ, who is a black woman. Shout out to Daria Zavannah, who I had on here. Shout out to the next person, Dr. Umar, who I all believe are on code. I might not agree with everything that they say, but I believe that they love black people and they're trying to liberate us to the best of their ability. Holla at Dr. Umar.
I want to go to President Biden. President Biden, your first day of office, you signed an executive order to protect the life and safety of transgenders. I have no problem with that. But you did it on your first day. But he sat up here with you, Charlemagne, and told black people that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
So if you went out of your way begging black people to vote for you, why haven't we got an executive order or any other activity coming out of the Oval Office from President Biden to protect black people from police?
I agree.
Look what he's doing with the anti-Asian hate. President Joe Biden signed an executive order that is exclusive to Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. I don't have a problem with that. But if you can protect the Asian American and Pacific Islander from violence, why can't you do the same thing for black people? They've been dealing with violence for 1 year as a result of COVID. That's what it's called, the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Bill, to protect Asians as a result of discriminatory treatment that they've been dealing with for how long? 1 year. Black people have been catching hell for 400 years, and we have yet to get an executive order from Joe Biden to protect us from the police. And also, Charlemagne and Envy, to further highlight the racism of American government, the transgender executive order is not for people of color. It is not for minorities. It is not for disadvantaged communities. Guess who it's for? Transgender. The anti-Asian Pacific Islander hate executive order against hate is not for people of color. It's not for minorities. It's not for disadvantaged Americans. It is exclusively and only for Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Why am I bringing that up? Because when Barack Obama was in office, all these Negroes running around screaming for Obama, I still don't know why, was said that Barack Obama can't do nothing specifically for black people because this is America. And when we got the Civil Rights Bill in 64 and the Voting Rights Act in 65, they included 2 words at the end of that. One was gender and the other was sexual orientation. So the Civil Rights Bill did not only apply to blacks, it applied to everybody. So if you have to make laws for all Americans, Charlemagne and Envy, how do you explain the fact that the Asian Americans got a law just for them? Yesterday, the United States Senate in historic precedents, passed the anti-Asian hate crimes bill at a vote of 96-1. Now, to give you an idea of what that means, the Senate, they don't agree on nothing. The Democrats and Republicans, they filibuster each other to death. But yesterday they didn't. 96, only one person voted against the anti-Asian hate crimes bill. So can I ask you a question? If the Senate was able to pass the anti-Asian hate crimes bill, Charlemagne and Envy, 96-1 with almost no opposition, why is it that the Emmett Till lynching bill still has not been approved? Why is it that there have been over 200 different anti-lynching bills introduced in the U.S. Congress? 200! And not one of them has been approved by the U.S. Congress yet. But the first ever Asian bill goes through on the first try. Look at the racism. Look at the discrimination. Look at the bias. Look at the inequity there. And why are they catering to the Asians? You know why? Because the amount of white people in this country is shrinking.
That's right.
And whenever the amount of white people in America shrinks, America looks to find other white groups or other minority groups that they can build an alliance with to protect their power and their interests. Who better than the Asians? They're just as conservative politically as many middle-class white Americans. They are just as economically comfortable as many middle-class white Americans. They don't like black people just as much as many middle-class white Americans. Not to mention that this can go a long way towards building relationships with Asian countries on the continent of Asia. And they're going to use the Asians, okay, as probationary whites. They're going to upgrade them to probationary white status to make sure that they stay on the side of the white man and not go on the side of the black man. This Asian agenda is a distraction from the issues that are affecting black people. How do you sign an executive order for the transgenders, executive orders for the Asians? He has signed nothing for black people. And part of this is our fault because we didn't make no demands on Joe Biden before he got elected. We didn't make no demands on Joe Biden before he got elected. And you know why Joe Biden ain't going to do nothing about police genocide? Because number one, it's acceptable in America for police to kill blacks. That's number one. And number two, he can't afford to isolate conservative Democrats and middle-of-the-road Republicans as it relates to him getting approved all the legislation he wants to get carried over during his presidency. So Joe Biden got to make a decision. I either got to stand up for black people, you understand? Or I got to keep white people comfortable enough to approve my legislation. And what is he choosing? He's choosing his legislation over the lives of black folks. But the problem we made as a community is we made Donald Trump the scapegoat for racism. Just like we made Barack Obama the angel, you understand, for government, we made Donald Trump the devil. You don't do either one of those. The U.S. government is a system. It's not a person. So when you make Donald Trump the scapegoat for all of American racism, you let the government off the hook. You don't reduce a system as powerful as this to an individual or a personality. But the problem we made as a community is we made Donald Trump the scapegoat for racism. Just like we made Barack Obama the angel, you understand, for government, we made Donald Trump the devil. You don't do either one of those. The U.S. government is a system. It's not a person. So when you make Donald Trump the scapegoat for all of American racism, you let the government off the hook. You don't reduce a system as powerful as this to an individual or a personality. Look at Deshaun Watson down in Houston, Texans. Most of those massage girls were white. And we all know he didn't do it. The reason Deshaun Jackson is being lynched is because he wanted to leave the Houston Texans. And so the white power structure of Houston said, this Negro is not going to march into our city and think he leaves when he wants. We just had James Harden pull this same nonsense with the Houston Rockets. We are not going to let Deshaun Jackson pull it with the Houston Texans. And they're going to destroy that man's career because he wanted to walk out. The massage parlor talking about something. I came back into the room and he was totally naked. Aren't you a masseuse? Don't you touch naked bodies all the time? Isn't that part of your job? I never heard you say he raped you. I never heard you say he forcibly done something to you. Oh, he bumped me, or he moved my hand over. Excuse me? That doesn't raise to the level of a crime. And if you notice, he ain't been charged yet. Where are the charges at? 22 women, no charges? Because the man ain't guilty. They trying to Bill Cosby Deshaun Jackson. Because the new racism, Charlemagne, and the new racism, DJ Envy, is to make the victim look like a perpetrator. So white supremacy in the 21st century wears a disguise known as feminism. And white supremacy in the 21st century wears a disguise known as LBGTism. And white supremacy in the 21st century wears a disguise known as multiculturalism. Whenever we want to destroy a black man, if we want to get Charlemagne, if we want to get Envy, if we want to get Dr. Umar, we're not going to give him with the traditional frontal white man assault, just outright destroy him, because that's not a politically accurate. We're going to find something DJ Envy said about gays or transgenders from 20 years ago. We're going to pull that up and use that to lynch him. We're going to find something Charlemagne said about the anti-Asian hate propaganda and pull that up. We're going to find something Dr. Umar said about women 50 years ago and pull that up. They are lynching black males publicly, an all-out war on black masculinity, and they're using feminism, multiculturalism, and LBGTism to do it. Deshaun Watson is innocent. And I just want to say to black America, I know we're going through a lot. The times is tough. We've been through worse. We will come through this, but we got to organize. Stokely Carmichael said, if you organize a little, you get a little done. If you organize some, you get some done. But if you don't organize at all, you don't get nothing done. The most honorable Marcus Garvey said, the greatest weapon used against the Negro is disorganization. So we have to organize, mobilize, energize, and then we can transform this society. Joe Biden, you owe us, and we ain't gonna wait around. Make something happen, sir. Black people voted for you. You owe us that much. You gave them an executive order. Now give black people an executive order.
My nigga.
So at the end of the day, what it comes down to is that even if J-Lethal gets taken off of the internet, there's going to be other brothers that are out here speaking his truth. And here we go. Is Dr. Umar an agent? Maybe Dr. Umar is an agent. But let me ask you this. Is there anything in that clip that Dr. Umar said that makes you think he's an agent? Or is there anything in there that an agent would say? Would an agent say any of that brand new information going hard at this motherfucking propaganda? Now, I don't know. But all I'm saying is at the end of the day, when we're doing this Exodus, because remember, the title of this video is Exodus. And if we're going to make a new nation of people, we have to allow for the fact that not everybody is an agent. We have to believe that some people are who they say they are. I'm literally a runaway slave, and I'm not trying to ask for anybody's compassion. But the last thing I want anybody to call me is a motherfucking agent. So when it comes to Dr. Umar, I salute you, Dr. Umar Johnson, even if I don't agree with everything you say. At least it's showing that you standing up for us when these motherfuckers are buck dancing. Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. Shout out to Dr. Umar. Black man on the run. Black man on the run. Runaway slave gang. Runaway slave gang in the chat. Now let me bring you to this last. Let me bring you to my last point, guys. I'm on my last point. We're on our final hour. I'm going to bring the last point. I'm going to read the chat, and I'm going to get out of here. This is my last point, guys. This is my last point of the night. Exodus, movement of the people. Has anybody ever heard of... This is my last point of the night, guys. My stream was blocked. What happened, guys? What happened, guys? Hold on, before I finish, what just happened? What happened? What did I even do wrong? My stream was suspended. What even happened? What policy? What did I even say? What was the last video I even played? Somebody tell me what was the last video I even played. Oh, Umar Johnson. They might take it down because of Umar Johnson. It's okay. It is what it is. Y'all couldn't hear Umar Johnson? Anything he was saying? Okay. Just so we know, YouTube. Just so we know, YouTube, federal law allows citizens to produce, reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video disc under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and or parody, which it doesn't infringe upon the copyrighted under 17 USC 107, you motherfuckers! That was a portion. The whole interview was 45. The whole interview was over an hour. I played 8 minutes of over an hour for criticism, commentary, and teaching. You mother. Fuck you. All right. This is my last video. This is my last video. This is my last video. Does anybody know what a sand mandala is? Does anybody know what a sand mandala is? Don't look it up on Google. Do not look it up on Google. If you don't know, it's okay. I didn't know. I had to find out. Don't look it up on Google. Does anybody know off the top of their head what a sand mandala is? Nobody knows what a sand mandala is? Don't look it up on Google. Maybe they might take this stream down because I played that. I don't know. I mean, God damn, I don't know what I can do. I'm just trying to teach YouTube shit. I'm trying to teach. This is a sand mandala, guys. Let me show you what a sand mandala is. This is a sand mandala. If you look very closely, you can see designs in that. Very intricate designs in this sand mandala. This is the sand. This is made of sand, different color sand. Do you see how beautiful that is? Do you see how beautiful that sand mandala is? Let me show you a video of this sand mandala before I get out of here, guys, okay? I'm going to show you one quick video before I leave. Look at this, guys. This is amazing.
Tibetan medicine and healing has always been crucial to the Buddhist path. So creating a medicine mandala is one way of healing the community, but also healing the environment. The word mandala is actually a Sanskrit term meaning container of essence. It is that sacred circle embodying some sacred essence within. Originally, they would have used powdered stones, powdered gems, things like lapis, malachite, and so on. Today, they use crushed marble made into sand. Now, the colors are very important because they symbolize different attributes of the deities. But in this particular one that we have here, it is all about the medicine Buddha and healing. And what they create is a heavenly palace all around him. Most of the monks have been in monasteries since the age of about 7. They would have learnt the actual art of painting a mandala in the first instance, but to actually make sand mandala takes about 5 years to train, because it's a very precise art, tapping the sand out of these copper funnels into these intricate geometric designs. The prayers that the monks perform are to do with invoking the presence of the medicine Buddha and inviting the healing power to enter the center of the mandala. And then throughout, when they're actually performing, creating the mandala, they are meditating on that same thought. And for those people who are watching, every grain of sand will give one a blessing. This form of Buddhism is about developing your mind's potential, or a way of transforming the mind. So the person who is using this in meditation would imagine themselves as the medicine Buddha in the center, and they would try and break down the barriers of their normal deluded life into the pure enlightened mind of the Buddha. A very important Buddhist belief is the impermanence. They don't believe that death is the end. It's just a passing phase. It's our essence that carries on, but also that you shouldn't be attached to anything. So the idea of the destruction of the sand mandala is really putting it to bed, if you like. We return to the elements, so too is the sand mandala return to the elements.
So that is called a sand mandala. You can look it up yourself. It's called a sand mandala. And what it is the Buddhist monks, they create this big, beautiful, beautiful thing, this art structure. And it takes years or months or however long it takes to create this beautiful, detailed, perfect structure with all these different grains of sand. Okay? And then what happens is at the end, they destroy it. At the end, they just take something and they wipe it clean. They don't even keep it. They spend weeks, days, hours, months, and years creating this beautiful piece of art, and then they purposely destroy it. It's called a sand mandala. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because this is what I'm realizing my page has become. My channel has become a sand mandala. We have to understand that you have to understand the grand scheme of life. I'm putting my all into what I'm doing. So if YouTube deletes my channel or deletes this very stream, it's just like a sand mandala, something that I put all my hard work into. Every last ounce of patience and talent went into this stream. And if they take it down and delete it, so be it. That be the will of the Most High God. Because just as we came, is how shall we return? We shall return to the dirt just as we came from the dirt. So before I leave, I'm going to play this video one more time for you guys of this sand mandala, of how these Buddhist monks spend years, weeks, days, hours, and months creating beautiful art just to purposely destroy it, because the truth will be the truth, will be the truth. And it doesn't matter. You cannot destroy the truth.
Tibetan medicine and healing has always been crucial to the Buddhist path. So creating a medicine mandala is one way of healing the community, but also healing the environment. The word mandala is actually a Sanskrit term meaning container of essence. It is that sacred circle embodying some sacred essence within. Originally, they would have used powdered stones, powdered gems, things like lapis, malachite, and so on. Today, they use crushed marble made into sand. Now, the colors are very important because they symbolize different attributes of the deities. But in this particular one that we have here, it is all about the medicine Buddha and healing. And what they create is a heavenly palace all around him. Most of the monks have been in monasteries since the age of about 7. They would have learnt the actual art of painting a mandala in the first instance, but to actually make sand mandala takes about 5 years to train, because it's a very precise art, tapping the sand out of these copper funnels into these intricate geometric designs. The prayers that the monks perform are to do with invoking the presence of the medicine Buddha and inviting the healing power to enter the center of the mandala. And then throughout, when they're actually performing, creating the mandala, they are meditating on that same thought. And for those people who are watching, every grain of sand will give one a blessing. This form of Buddhism is about developing your mind's potential, or a way of transforming the mind. So the person who is using this in meditation would imagine themselves as the medicine Buddha in the center, and they would try and break down the barriers of their normal deluded life into the pure enlightened mind of the Buddha. A very important Buddhist belief is the impermanence. They don't believe that death is the end. It's just a passing phase. It's our essence that carries on, but also that you shouldn't be attached to anything. So the idea of the destruction of the sand mandala is really putting it to bed, if you like. We return to the elements, so too is the sand mandala return to the elements.
So she said something very important there. She said, we return back to the elements. And she said, the reason why they destroy the painting is because we do not want to be attached to these physical things. This is what the scriptures talk about. And I'm not necessarily promoting this particular spirituality, but what I'm saying is essentially, when it comes to my channel and all the videos that I made, all the special videos that I feel like I wanted to keep my videos, even right now, they might take this channel down. They might take this video down. And I might feel some type of way, but essentially, I cannot be attached to these things. All I can want to be attached to is the truth. And essentially, I love every single one of you, but I'm here for the truth. And when they take my channel down, because the scripture says there's going to be a famine of the word, they will take all of our channels down. They will silence all of us, but the truth and the living word of the Most High God will remain. But it's on you to uplift that, to keep that continuing. You understand that? It's on us to continue the word of the Most High God. It's on us to make his word manifest. Yes, of course, he can figure somebody else to get it. He can get somebody else to speak his word, but why aren't you doing it? Why don't you be the one to stand up for God in these last days? Why don't you stand up and walk that plank and put your chest out and put your neck out for the Most High God and have faith and be willing to sacrifice and be willing to sacrifice your very life for the Most High God in these last days? Don't you feel like it's a glory to do that? Don't you feel like it's a pleasure to join the Most High God and to stand up for his name in these last days when you know people are lying and being cowards? Isn't it a beautiful thing to stand up for the Most High God in these final days, in these book of Revelations? So if they destroy my channel, it's just like the sand mandala, where I took one sand piece at a time, one little piece of sand at a time, and I took forever. But if it's destroyed, so be it. I put my all into what I'm doing every single time. And that's what it is, guys. Exodus, movement of Yah's people. This is really an extension of my other live streams that got taken down. This live stream might get taken down. But what I'm saying is essentially we need to understand who we are, where we're going, who our people are, because it's not just black people. I'm going to say that one more time. It's not just black people that we need to be trying to get into this magical Wakanda. It is not just people who look like me. We're going to grab everybody who has this same color skin and bring them to Wakanda, and we're going to live happily ever after. Newsflash. Hold on. Let me say one more thing before I leave. Black people, if you call yourself black, Nubian, melanated, Egyptian, whatever Israel, whatever you call yourself, black, nigga, negro, nigger, Nijis. Breaking news, guys. Breaking news. This is the breaking news before I get out of here. You are not just going to be able to go pick everybody up off the street that has this color skin and bring them to Wakanda forever, and we're going to live happily ever after. Newsflash. Breaking news. Breaking news. That's not going to happen. We have to distinguish who we are. We have to distinguish what we want. We have to distinguish what we do not accept. And if if something happens to me, so fucking what? God is going to make sure that the truth happens. I'm going to say that one more time before I get out of here. 3 hours and 30 minutes, I'm out of here. If something happens to J-Lethal in my body, don't fucking worry for too long, because God will still make sure that whatever mission I was on is going to get carried out. Holler at your boy.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google. Now, who's going to be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what
You ain't got.
me? Come on, chill out.
You
bro.
ain't got the answers.
Kanye,
You ain't got the answers.
I'm asking you.
You
a
ain't been doing
question.
the education,
bro.
You ain't been doing the education.
Kanye, calm down.
You don't have the answers, though.
I'm here. I'm here. Fuck is you talking about? I'm here. They tried to stop me. I'm still here. You want to stop me, you son of a bitch? I'm still bringing out the receipts. I'm still the receipt king, and you thought you was going to stop me. With that being said, guys, I'm going to do a special thing and leave before 4 hours. I used to make 4 5-hour live streams. Now I'm at 3 hours and 30 minutes. I got everything I had to say out of here. If y'all have any last questions before I leave, or anything last things you want to say before I leave, I'll read the comments. If not, I'm out of here. Breaking news. If y'all got anything to say, holla at your boy. If not, I'm out of here. I ran through most of my receipts. I have more receipts, but I'll do those on the next live stream. If you have any last thing to say, holla at your boy. Other than that, fuck it. Exodus, movement of the people. We got to be ready to move. If the Most High God comes and says, do something, you better do it. Don't question it in the year 2021 of our Lord. They've been trying to destroy us, destroy our spirit. They've been trying to discourage us from moving how we're supposed to move. They've been trying to disrupt our connection to the Most High God. I'm going to say it one more time. They have been trying ever since we were young to disrupt our connection to the Most High God, to the point where this very live stream might be taken down when I get off. I might end this live stream and they might take this live stream off, and I might have my first strike for whatever the fuck reason. Who knows? But if that is what it is, remember the sand mandala. I'm going to put it in the stream one more time. Sand mandala. Remember the sand mandala. And remember how some people just spend hours, weeks, days, months upon years putting one piece of sand upon another piece of sand upon another piece of sand, and then they purposely destroy it. Why? So that they can strip the power from the deceiver who thinks you can take something from me. I'm going to say that one more time. Why would the monks make a beautiful structure and then destroy it? Because they want to have the power. They don't want the deceiver to have the power to take something from them that they love. So when it comes to my sons and every single thing that I feel like I lost, I've never lost a thing, because the Most High God is in charge. With that being said,
Tibetan medicine and healing has always been crucial to the Buddhist path. So creating a medicine mandala is one way of healing the community, but also healing the environment. The word mandala is actually a Sanskrit term meaning container of essence. It is that sacred circle embodying some sacred essence within. Originally, they would have used powdered stones, powdered gems, things like lapis, malachite, and so on. Today they used crushed marble made into sand. Now the colours are very important because they symbolise different attributes of the deities. But in this particular one that we have here, it is all about the medicine Buddha and healing. And what they create is a heavenly palace all around him. Most of the monks have been in monasteries since the age of about 7. They would have learnt the actual art of painting a mandala in the first instance, but to actually make sand mandala takes about 5 years to train, because it's a very precise art, tapping the sand out of these copper funnels into these intricate geometric designs. The prayers that the monks perform are to do with invoking the presence of the medicine Buddha and inviting the healing power to enter the center of the mandala. And then throughout, when they're actually performing, creating the mandala, they are meditating on that same thought. And for those people who are watching, every grain of sand will give one a blessing. This form of Buddhism is about developing your mind's potential, or a way of transforming the mind. So the person who is using this in meditation would imagine themselves as the medicine Buddha in the center, and they would try and break down the barriers of their normal deluded life into the pure enlightened mind of the Buddha. A very important Buddhist belief is the impermanence. They don't believe that death is the end. It's just a passing phase. It's our essence that carries on, but also that you shouldn't be attached to anything. So the idea of the destruction of the sand mandala is really putting it to bed, if you like. We return to the elements, so too is the sand mandala return to the elements.
God bless you all. May the Most High God continue to bless you all. May the Most High God, the God of all of us, the God of Israel, the God of those who wrestle against temptation and wrestle against oppression and succeed because of their faith and their endurance. May the children of Israel please be blessed. I know we've been through a lot. I'm here with you. We're here together for whatever reason. This internet exists for whatever reason. Have you ever thought about that? This weird internet thing? It's a brand new sensation we've never seen in human history, supposedly. We have a chance to reach each other. We have a chance to extend, look back on history and move forward as a collective. This is a new time in human history. This is the prime time to move forward. Don't let our ancestors, the ancestors, don't let them, if you love our ancestors, don't let them die in vain. I'm on the run. As you see, the cops are right behind me. I'm on the run. I can't run for that long. I'm not Usain Bolt. Somebody put that in the chat. I ain't Usain Bolt. I can't run for that long. And I'm getting tired. And I'm getting old. You know, Christ died at the year 33. Holla at your boy either way it goes. It was beautiful seeing you. I'm going to see you next week. Lord willing, I'll have another live stream with some new beautiful information. But if not, it's been beautiful. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A wonderful day with the neighborhood. Please, vibrate high.